You stay on. Now stay on the phone. Stay on the phone so that hopefully they could hear you through this live video.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what you getting ready to do? Okay, I'll stay on the phone right now.
All right, cool. So
Okay,
yeah, hopefully it will work this time. Okay, so let me see.
Right now.
All right, cool. All right. So
Okay,
hopefully it will work this time. Okay, so let me see.
Right now.
All right, cool. So I think they could hear you now.
So
Yeah, I think it will. Let me see. No, well, that was just playing. All right. So let me see. Audio check, audio check, audio check. Can someone in go ahead and say something, my sister? Let me see if they could hear you.
Hello, everyone. This is Sophia Stewart. I wrote the Matrix and Terminator. I'm the owner and creator of the Matrix and Terminator movie franchises.
Okay, guys, let me know if you guys could hear her. She just introduced herself. Let me. I'm doing it from the speaker of my phone, so hopefully that's gonna work. Once again, I apologize for the inconvenience. I'm not honestly. We never had that situation before, but we're not gonna let it deter us. We're gonna continue to make this thing happen. So once again, I'm on the phone with Sophia Stewart, the owner and creator of Matrix and Terminator franchises. All right. So my sister, they said they could hear you loud and clear. So that's a beautiful thing.
Great. Well, it's about time. I'm sorry we had this long delay. Everyone else, that happens sometimes if you don't do a check, a day before, a couple hours before.
Yeah.
So, forgive the delay. But it'll be worth it.
Yes, it
hung around.
Definitely it'll be worth it. So what we're gonna do is, seeing that we have this working right now, we're gonna get into it. So my sister, once again, let me just say thank you, for coming on the platform today. And I just want to give people a quick synopsis as to how all this came about. When I first seen the movie Matrix, and actually the Terminator. I love action movies, and the Terminator I love. But when the Matrix came out, the Matrix has literally been the best movie to me series in forever, and that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm biased. Even before.
Series.
Yeah.
It's a trilogy.
Trilogy. Thank you for the correct. Yeah. Yeah.
3 movies is a trilogy.
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
4 movies is a series.
Okay. All right. So
4 movies or more.
Okay. So thank you for the correction. So it's a trilogy, right? So for me, the Matrix trilogy was one of the best movies ever. But when I actually heard of our sister's story in terms of I think what's his name, James Cameron. I think
What about James Cameron?
No, whoever it was, the person who actually took your movie and both movies, the concept of it.
He didn't take my movie.
Yeah. Okay.
What they did was adapt my copyrighted script and copyrighted book to the screen. Just like they took J.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings book and adapted Peter Jackson, the director, adapted it to the screen. He didn't take Tolkien's book, his script. What he did was adapt it and paid him.
Oh.
The only difference is they didn't pay me for the usage of my copyrighted work with theft.
Okay.
It's like somebody stealing your car out of your yard. They don't own your car, and they say you have a DeLorean. They stole your DeLorean out of your yard, and they made money off of that. You're entitled to the money.
Okay.
You don't own the DeLorean because the DeLorean is in your name. The title is in your name. So the copyright, the titles of the Matrix and Terminator movie franchises are in my name.
Oh, okay.
I own it.
Okay.
What you guys are not understanding and failing to understand is the government failed to protect my copyright.
Okay, so here
they protect studios, but they don't protect your rights.
Okay, so here's the thing. So here's the thing, right? Before we even proceed, let me just tell you a little bit about our platform. We understand a whole lot. Believe me, more than you think we do. So we know exactly what's going on. We're not asleep on this platform. So we're gonna talk like everybody's awake because we're not asleep. We know exactly what's going on. I'm not talking
like you are not awake. I'm not speaking to you. I'm speaking to the audience, people who are not awakened. A lot of people out there are not awakened and they want to know the details.
Yes.
So when I speak, it's the universal you, and it's not you personally or your platform.
Okay, I appreciate that. Yeah.
Twisted,
oh, no, we're not getting it twisted. We're just clarifying things. That's all.
Listen, it's a lot of people out there that's uneducated, unknowledgeable, and want to be informed.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
So I can't just speak to the ones who know. I have to speak to the ones who do not know.
Okay, I agree. I agree with that.
I'm speaking.
Okay, so this is what I would like to do, right? I would like to start, from the beginning and where we are at, and then what's to come. So let us go back a little bit for from the beginning. The concept of the Terminator, right? How did that even come about? Did you have and the Matrix itself? Did you have visions, or how did that even come about? Because those movies are very deep.
No, I didn't have vision. I wrote the first metaphysical work that became a movie. The fifth in the book of metaphysical. Metaphysical is when you take science and you merge it with spirituality. That's what's called metaphysics. And no one had ever done a metaphysical movie before.
Okay. So
what you did, instead of doing a religious movie, I did a spiritual movie and put science in it. That's a scientific story with spirituality woven all into it. So that means that people who are consciousness get it from another point of view, and people who are well versed in numbers and mathematics is universal language.
Yeah.
Scientists, doctors, philosophers, scholars, they all can understand it also. Because they understand math, they understand science. But people who are deeply involved in religion, spirituality, the higher consciousness of things, they also get it also from another perspective. So it's something there for everybody. That's why the Matrix and Terminator is so phenomenal. And it's one epic story. The Terminator is the prequel. Prequel meaning the beginning of the journey of Neo. So JC, John Connor, goes up to be Neo, one and the same in the Matrix. When the machines in the future, that the Matrix is in the future, is past, present, and future time travel. When the machines in the future, here's the oracle's prophecy that a baby is going to be born that's going to destroy them when they enslave mankind. And this is way into the future. So the Terminator in time, Revelation, Matrix is a Latin word for the woman's womb, a 7,000-year-old Latin word that comes from the King James Bible. Matrix generic word, and it comes in 5 scriptures, 3 in Exodus, 2 in Numbers. Exodus 34th chapter, 19th verse. God says, he who opens up the matrix, coming out of a woman's womb, her stargate or portal, is his 3-dimensional baby, his 3D baby. The astral body, the physical body, which takes 9 months to 36 weeks, and the soul, which is the seed, or vibrations, or energy, or life that attaches it, animates that physical body, making it come alive. Those are God's children, because man's children, he would create his own children because he was jealous of God's children. And his children is the test tube babies, petri dish babies, artificial inseminated babies, gender benders, gender manipulations and clones. But they're all born seedless and soulless.
Oh, wow.
They didn't come out of the woman's womb.
Right.
You see, with a soul or a seed. So whatever they begin is their end.
Oh, okay.
And they can't begin again because they have no seed to begin. It's just like you eat a seedless, soulless watermelon with no seeds, or a soulless, seedless orange. Well, after you eat it, that's the end. There's no seeds to fit into the ground to grow again. So it will never come up again. It'll be the end once you eat it. And you're eating a GMO.
Right, true.
A genetically modified organism that man has created through the laboratory.
So basically, well, of course, I mean, I'm certainly sure most people, a lot of people are aware of that. But how do you identify those people that are not, God's children? I mean, how can we identify them? Do you?
Well, use the emotional content. People who have seeds and souls have an emotional content. They have a conscience. They have compassion.
Mhm.
They have love. If somebody step off the building, they're gonna scream. They're gonna react. If somebody dies, they're gonna cry. For the seedless, soulless thing, it's like a Frankenstein. It's a monster. It ain't gonna respond. It ain't gonna care. It don't care if you kill a dog. It ain't gonna have no conscience behind it. If you kill a man, it ain't gonna have no conscience. Conscience is compassion, love.
Right.
That's how you identify.
Okay. All right. So I know you meant.
Very easy.
Yo. Okay. I know you mentioned Connor. Grows up. To be Neo. But when we had spoken.
Neo is just an anagram or sneaky way of calling him the one.
Okay.
Neone. One and the same.
Okay.
John the Revelator was the only one to call Jesus, JC, Jesus Christ, John Connor grows up to be the one. Neo.
Okay.
And he's hidden out in the city. If you look at the first 3 Terminators, it goes right into the Matrix. It all makes sense because they don't make sense without each other. Where's the Terminator going? It ain't going nowhere but into the Matrix. And where's the Matrix going? It's going onward into the future.
Okay. I appreciate that. Now, let us talk a little.
When I saw, wait a minute, hold up. Let me finish. When I saw Star Wars was the wars in heaven. And what Lucas wrote was how Satan, the adversarial, Lucifer, the angel, how he fell from the light side to the dark side. So when I saw that, I thought about why not write the story of the second coming of Christ? Because in Revelations, I had read the Bible. And the Bible, Revelation says there was a second coming to the Christ conscious, that he would come back, that our world would be in turmoil, and he would have to come back and be born of a woman. So the story shows how this woman destined to have this Christ child. And the Terminators, they know her name is Sarah Connor. So they have this time travel. That's why you see him time traveling, this Terminator. He goes through the burning portal and he lands naked without chains. He's wrapped in flesh, killed but cannot be killed. He is a machine from the future that looks like man, but he's wrapped in flesh. He doesn't have no soul, no emotional content. He don't even know he's naked. That's why he's naked without shame. When you ask about how can you tell God's children from man's children, well, man's still content. He didn't even know he was naked until somebody and he went and put some clothes on because he's there to terminate. He wants to hide. He wants to substitute. He wants to camouflage.
Right.
So he can kill Sarah Connor so she won't have that baby. Now, Kyle Reese, he's time traveling also because he heard the prophecy too to try to protect that woman, Sarah Connor. And what happens, he inadvertently falls in love with her while he's trying to protect her. He gets her pregnant, but he has to time travel back to the future because he can't stay in the past. And now it's the Immaculate Conception, which she's with a man. Here she is pregnant. And she's fallen in love with this man, and this man was in love with her. When you read the Third Eye Matrix and Terminator book, the third eye, the eye of God, because on earth we have 2 eyes. The Matrix talks about the woman's womb because this is where the child comes through the womb.
Okay.
So this is why the Matrix and Terminator are one epic story. And without each other, they've been divided in half and made into 2 separate movie franchises. But they all come together as one in the book, because the book tells the whole story. It has the graphics. It has the red and blue pill, I'll be back.
Right.
The dialogue. It has the numbers, the binary codes, the 1 and the 0, which are the logos.
Okay. Right.
All of that is in the book.
Okay.
The breaking down of, yes, everything is right there.
Okay, so yeah, what we're gonna do is we'll get into we're gonna talk in detail about the book. Let us talk a little bit about because I know you sent me a few documents, in fact, a lot of documents regarding the court cases, and in doing my research before I had even spoken to you, there were a lot of people that were pretty much spreading a lot of rumors. Now, I'm not going to get into that because you send me all the documents and I went over it in detail and verified that, that everything you were saying is actually true. Because in one of the documents, if you don't mind me talking about that, can you talk a little bit about the... Yeah, I know, but give me a second, please. I'm asking questions that the audience have. So just give me a second. Let me get my point across. All right. All right. So if you don't mind. Thank you. Can you talk, if you want to talk, can you talk a little bit about, if it's okay, about the Kia commercial? I got a document that spoke about, some legal, talks in the Kia commercial, and you reached out to them, and they had to stop using, your copyright in the movie. Do you mind talking about that a little bit?
My copyrighted characters and graphics they had to stop using. I sent them a cease and desist letter because what happened was Warner Brothers lied to these people and said that they would identify them against theft if they used something out of my book. They used something, this is the new material. Copyrighting it and everything. Been out since 2010, selling around the world, making 4 books. Cracking the genetic code, the evolution.
Okay.
It's been out. And so they used a little snippet to make the Kia commercial because I'm talking about the Matrix car.
Okay.
And so the Kia car, they started to use the Matrix car with Neo and Morpheus riding in it. So they used my character and they used some of a snippet out of there for the Kia 2013 or 2014 Super Bowl commercial. So when I got in contact with them, they wrote me a letter and they said that Warner Brothers is the one that told them that they would identify against. So I told them Warner Brothers can't identify you against anything because they don't own any copyrights. They don't own anything. They've been lying to you people out there for years. And y'all are just ignorant because in ignorance means it's not a bad word. You're just ignoring facts that you should know. You could go to the copyright office and the copyright people will tell you they have no copyright. They have no ownership.
Right.
You can't. I've been selling Matrix and Terminator around the entire world since 2005. And you can't sell people's copyrighted work. I can't go sell no Apple. I can't sell no Nike.
That's true.
Gucci because I'll get arrested.
Absolutely.
I can't sell no Pepsi-Cola, Coca-Cola because I'll get arrested. That's called counterfeiting.
Okay.
So you people cannot be naive and sit up there and say you don't believe something. You don't want to believe the truth, then you got a problem.
Yeah, and I could.
I'm selling it, making the certain, and you're buying it.
Right, and I could attest to that because like I said, I saw the information, and they had actually offered you I'm not going to say the amount, but a few $1 million, and you refused it. Do you mind telling the audience why you refused it?
I refused it because I wanted to protect the people. I could have taken the money and took a gag, and nobody would have known about me, and nobody would have been standing up and fighting for you guys. If I didn't come and make this big stand, and others encourage others to fight when their work is stolen, there's a lot of people work is stolen. They steal from congressmen. They stole from the mafia guys, the Gambino guys. They stole his script. They steal FBI and law enforcement agencies work. That's why the FBI told me they wanted to investigate this case because they know who these studio people are. And they've stolen, like James Cameron has stolen 12 people on Avatar. He will never, ever get to own Avatar or claim he owns Avatar because he's been using crooked judges and crooked lawyers. And the people who go up against them, their lawyers turn renegade. They get bought out by Cameron, get bought out by multi-millionaires and billionaire people who are thieves studios. And you guys need to wake up because They've stolen from a lot of people. When I first came on the air, when ABC broke my story October the 17th, 2003, and it went viral, I started telling everybody, you need to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at my theft, you need to look at your own theft, because if we don't stop this epidemic, it will steal everybody's copyrighted work.
Mm-hmm.
And they feel like they won't have to buy nothing from none of you. None of your scripts in your books will become obsolete. Because if they can steal it, they won't pay for it.
True.
That's what people do when they go in the store. If they steal, they don't have to pay.
Right.
It's the same process. It's wrong. And it destroys business. And it destroys the company that you steal from. And it destroys the people's legacy and their property. Because you're taking somebody else's property without paying. It's wrong.
Right.
So instead of taking a gag, instead of taking a payoff, where they offered me $5 million for my copyright which are worth billions, I decided to fight.
Right.
And stand up and make a stand so all of you can make a stand. Because aren't you sick and tired of people stealing your intellectual property? Come on.
Yeah.
Wake up.
Yeah.
Come out of the matrix. Come unplug.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Don't think because they stole from me, it ain't going to happen to you.
Yeah.
You're dreaming.
Yeah.
Everybody gets stolen from a wrong. Everybody.
And like I said, I could attest to that. Yeah. I could attest to that because I know, like you said, they offered the 5 million and you passed that up, and I commend you for that. Now, in terms of where you are at right now, okay, with the whole court proceedings, I know that the judge has actually ruled in your favor, if that's that's correct to say. Can you tell us where things stand right now?
The judge ruled in my favor in my second court case. I only had 3 court cases, ladies and gentlemen. 3 court cases, not 1, 3. Only 3. Remember that number. Only 3. Anybody said I had more than that is a liar. My first court case was filed April of 24th, 2003, because I filed a RICO. A RICO is a criminal case. That's what put the mafia, Al Capone and John Gotti and Bertie Madoff, people like that, Whitey Bulger, them in prison. That's how they got to, because the new RICO law was created just for these big time criminals that steal millions and billions of dollars. The new law was created to put them in jail, and it works for everybody. So you need to use this law. You don't need to file a copyright case on these people, because you didn't have no contract with these people. They stole your property right under your nose. They stole it without paying for it. A civil complaint is when you have a dispute, a contractual dispute, where somebody was supposed to pay you $1 million and they paid you $100,000 instead. That's a civil. When you go to the FBI, you say, hey, my work is federally protected by copyright. You go out and you arrest people who use Google glasses, people who will be filming, people who will be putting out, making bootleg movies and stuff. Well, and selling bootleg DVDs. Well, you go into prison. The FBI come knocking on your door immediately. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. They need to protect you too. So if the studio steals and start counterfeiting your copyrighted movies, because that's what it is, your copyrighted movies. Because when they steal copyrighted work, it belongs to you. You can go out and copyright everything they stole, because they have no copyright. When you pull it up, they have assignments. And they have ghostwriters that claim dummy ghostwriters for hire that don't own anything, never bought anything, never sold anything, never wrote anything. They don't have any scripts in there because they got your work. And the copyright office know it, because your copyrights are already registered. That means your work was in there before they even made a derivative movie, before they even counterfeited a derivative movie that went over to Europe, that went over to China. That was your work. That DVD belongs to you. Go and copyright it. When they steal something from you, go to the Library of Congress and copyright it. It's yours.
Right. Absolutely.
There's not a damn thing they can do about it.
I agree.
Let me teach you the law. Let me teach you people, wake you up. Instead of going filing a copyright case, it is not a dispute. Go to the FBI like I did. Now, I'm going to tell you what. I went to the FBI, and the DOJ, Department of Justice, they both validated the theft. Some of the people, like Eric Holder and a lot of others, got paid off not to prosecute these people.
Wow.
That's right. Senators, and congressmen, and politicians, and judges, and lawyers are getting paid to not protect your rights. They're hoping the crooks to steal from you, the American people, right under your nose.
Wow.
And all the trolls on the internet, they're putting some little lies and little windows is trying to keep you asleep.
And I totally get that.
Tell them to go on about their business.
I totally get that. Well, so let me ask you, right? In terms of the whole Hollywood thing, when that situation happened, and it came out, and you were fighting as hard as you did. No, I'm not. Hold on for a second, sis. Slow down for a second. My sister, Sister Sophia. Hold on for a second, please.
Wait.
Yeah.
Let me just hold on a moment. Let me just explain something.
Yeah.
When somebody steals from you, you don't fight thieves, but thieves are fighting to stay out of jail.
I get that. All right. I don't.
You guys got it backwards. That's ignorance. That's backwards.
My sister, we are not getting. Hold on, my sister. Hold on for a second, Sister Sophia. Hold on for a second. All right. We got to kind of slow down here for a second. All right. Let us not take everything literal. All right. No, they're not confused. They're not confused. No, but nobody's getting confused. I'm asking. All right. I want to ask a question.
I want to clarify that so people think that they have to fight for their property.
My sister, hear what I'm saying. Sister Sophia, if you give me a chance to talk and ask the question, then we'll get where we need to go. On the court cases, it said somebody versus somebody. So something is going on. I'm talking about from that perspective. All right. So let us not the play of words. We don't need to get into that. I never. But hold what I'm saying, though. Hear what I'm saying. It was you versus somebody. Whether you want to call it a fight, a court case. Okay, you were versus somebody, right? When that situation took place, in terms of the atmosphere in Hollywood, right? My question is, why didn't based on looking at the stories for myself, I didn't see a whole lot of actors stepping up and and talking about the injustice. Is there any reason why that is?
Listen, everybody in Hollywood works for the cabal. And when you work for the cabal, you don't want to buck that cabal because you end up getting blackballed in the industry. I don't work for the cabal. I'm not a slave for the cabal. You understand? I never was a part of the cabal. I don't belong to the William Morris Agency or creative artists and got managers and people, entertainment lawyers and all that stuff. And they're pumping me on the red carpet. I'm an owner. Like the late Steve Jobs and Bill Gates of Microsoft, who owns Nike and who owns Gucci. I'm an owner. So they're not working me. I don't slave for them. Okay. They work Oprah. She slaves for them. She slaves for the Jews. Right. They Tyler Perry. He slaves for them. You understand what I'm saying? It's a difference between an owner and a person who's owned by somebody. True. And these people that you're talking about, they're not going to lose what little bit. I can't blame them because they got family, they got a lifestyle, they got to live, they got to win those awards. And the best Oscar goes to the greatest Oscar goes to the best liar. How's that? True. Okay? Yeah. So I understand that. So this is why they didn't stand up. Okay. And a lot of them have been stolen from. But they were secretly applauding me. Don't think they were not. Don't think they was not secretly supporting me because all it takes is money, sweetie. They don't have to voice anything. Just give me some money and I'll do the rest. God gave me the gift to go in there and do the law. God gave me the gift to go in there and do the courage to be. But the fact is this, they got stolen from and they couldn't do nothing about it because they needed to eat. Right. They needed to take care of their family. They needed to shine. They needed to get to their careers to get where they needed to go. But it only takes one domino to bring down the whole house, sweetie. That's true. It doesn't take an army. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I agree with you. So, which leads me to my next question, right?
to avoid situations like that, people, you know, taking people's copyrights, and seeing that now people are able to stream movies and all of that, what do you think, you know, in terms of Hollywood, how long you think that facade and the illusion is going to be kept up now that people have other avenues, you know, to pitch their movies, write their movies, produce it, and sell their own movies?
Well, that's what happens when you steal. When you start stealing, it atrophies you out of the business. Because back in the day, they would buy people's stories. They would buy people's books. They would buy people's short stories or their scripts or whatever. And they would have the greatest diversity of movies. We had phenomenal movies. But when they decided to steal it, you can't steal somebody's creativity.
Right.
You may steal their work. You can steal a Picasso right now, or you can go find a Picasso in an old abandoned building right now, put your name on it, and sell it for millions of dollars. But guess what? When they're ready for the next one, you can't do nothing. Look at Terminator, Terminator Dark Fate. That ain't nothing but Wanted Dead Alive with Steve McQueen. She's wearing the same getup as Steve McQueen, same movie poster, Steve McQueen with his little poster on his leg, with his sawed-off shotgun, and she's a bounty hunter. He's looking to kill Terminator.
Right.
Same concept, because they can't use my concept. They can't use John Connor's. And the fans, they're not stupid. They say, wait a minute, this ain't not the Terminator. Where's John Connor? It's about John Connor and his journey being Neo in the Matrix. They ain't got nothing to do with the mama. The mama had the baby. That was her part. Her part was finished. You're going to make continue the Terminator with Sarah Connor? A fluffy old Terminator? Get out of here.
Right.
So what you're doing is mimicking my work from 20 to 30 years ago. It's just like you doing Michael Jackson's old moves and his old dance steps 20 and 30 years ago. Anybody go on YouTube and look at that?
Right.
That ain't nothing new. Michael, if he was alive, he would be carrying on. He would eclipse his work. Terminator 5 is the eclipse work. Terminator 5, Rebirth of the Machine, is the new Terminator work. The new Terminator movie. It's how the Terminators revamp and how they get stronger to move against John Connor, Steve, who grows up to be Neo. And how Neo evolves and how he beats them. Get Matrix 4, cracking the code. Get the book, read.
Yeah, and yeah, we're definitely gonna
Matrix and more Terminator, get the book.
Yeah.
People are reading around the world.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna talk.
Lie to you guys.
Yeah.
People that can sit up there and lie to you guys. You guys ain't never read something they ever wrote. You don't have no script in the Library of Congress, nothing. So because you try to copyright the word Matrix, which is a generic, it's like you try to copyright cola. You can't copyright cola. You can copyright Pepsi Cola, Coca-Cola. It's like I copyrighted the Matrix.
Right.
But you can't copyright cola because cola is generic.
That's true.
So people need to know that these people are lying to them. The movies is nothing but film adapted from physical script, physical book.
Right.
Lords of the Ring, the Lords of the Ring movie. The Harry Potter book, the Harry Potter movie. The Maze book, the Maze movie. The Gravity book, the Gravity movie. Cloud Atlas, David Mitchell. People Vendetta, Alan Moore's work. You get it?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And so streaming is going to put them out of business. Streaming is going to put them, the studios are going to end up in the thrift stores like I've been talking about for the last several years.
Right. And it's
all the old equipment, because it's going to be electronic stuff now, where it's streaming, where you can make billions and billions of dollars because there's 7 billion people on the earth. So you don't need to have manual old cameras or projectors that last 150 years.
Okay.
You don't need that anymore. The e-books will outsell the physical book.
So let me ask you.
Will outsell the electronic book.
Yeah.
Well, will outsell everything in the future.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's definitely a reality right now because it's manifesting. So, but let me stick on the Matrix here for a second, right? I'm gonna talk about, you know, two of the characters. Of course, you know, you have explained Neo. In terms of Morpheus, right? Does Morpheus did Morpheus come from somebody that you knew or somebody in your life, or how did the
Listen, it's the second coming of the Christ.
yeah, my sister, my sister, yeah,
Listen to me.
yeah,
Hold on. You asked me a question. Could I please answer it?
but you didn't give me a chance to
It ain't
finish.
got nothing to do with Michael B. Stewart.
I
It ain't got nothing to do with no Michael B. Stewart and no brother of Morpheus, because they can't use Morpheus. So they were talking about giving you guys a generic. We can't give you the Matrix with Neo and Trinity and Morpheus. And we can't give you that and the one, but we can give you a generic. We can give you a cola, but we can't give you Pepsi Cola. We can't give
well,
you
Sister Sophia, Sister Sophia,
we can give you some kind
Sister
of cola.
Sophia, I got all that, and you know, if you allow me to,
I'm telling this to the people.
yeah, I get that, but what I'm saying is, can I ask some questions and just let me finish the question, please? Because you know, I mean, I let you talk, you know, without interrupting. I just want to ask a few questions because based on Matrix, okay. Now I know you're the owner and creator of Matrix. So what I'm asking is just like how if I were to ask somebody, well, the Oracle was in the movie. Tell me about the Oracle. It's a simple question.
I just told you I created the character.
I get that. So I'm asking about the character. Is the
what I just told you?
yeah,
It's not based on any damn body I know.
okay, so yeah, but when I
Are we gonna sit here and are we gonna argue or are we gonna have an interview?
my sister, we are interviewing, but then it has to be a back and forth. I mean, you know, you're not allowing me to ask things.
Be quiet and let me ask
No, my sister, no, please. Now, you know, we're gonna respect each other, all right? Yo, I mean, she hung up the phone, like seriously, like, man, listen, I'm, you know, this is absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, guys, you know, let me come back to you know, let me come back to the live feed. I'm still gonna keep it on a positive vibe. All right, I'm still gonna keep it on a positive vibe. Where we at? All right, I'm still gonna keep it on the positive vibes. You guys can hear me, right? Because to me, that's absolutely rude. You see what I'm saying? That's absolutely rude because I'm asking. I don't, you know, you're the creator and the owner of the movie, right? I'm asking questions based on the movie. Well, can you explain to me what Morpheus is about? You know, I don't know. You're right, and that's what these people ask questions, right? People email questions, and I'm asking the questions, but I'm just saying, like, you know, you interrupting me, you being aggressive. I mean, seriously, man. I mean, that wasn't cool at all, man. That wasn't cool at all. All right. So, like I said, absolutely, brother. I'm not gonna get, you know, combative, and you know, I'm not gonna get into that. You feel me? But that was absolutely rude and on call for. You know, because the whole purpose was to get you on here for people could hear your story, hear what people got to talk about. You know what I'm saying? And those are the questions. The audience have questions. You know what I'm saying? They love the movie. They love the movie, whether it was a book or not. You know what I'm saying? They're asking questions about. You see what I'm saying? So, but anyway, Hilton, Howard. All right. For your information, I let the sister speak for half an hour explaining things. But this is an interview. You know what I'm saying? This is an interview. So I'm asking questions. You see what I mean? But anyway, I'm holding for a second, guys. Hold on, hold on. Greetings, sis. Yeah, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, yeah. I appreciate that. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, exactly. I get that. I get that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get it. Absolutely. Thank you. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. All right. All right. Yeah, yeah, I'm still on. I'm still on. Yeah. All right. All right. So here's the thing, right? And once again, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, it seems, you know what I'm saying, the sister is telling me that, you know, she's not fighting, but you know, you combative, you aggressive, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody has been coming at you. I'm not coming at you. We just asking questions because I asked the audience to send questions about the movie. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, man, what we're gonna do is, we're not gonna, we're not gonna bash the sister. We're not gonna do that. We don't do that on this platform. We're gonna keep it, with all love. You see what I'm saying? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna today's still the matriarch build. So any one of the matriarchs who want to come on, I don't know why I'm having this issue with with the what you call it, the video, so that I couldn't hear her. But if any one of you sisters could come on, we're gonna continue the matriarch build. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna do that. Like I said, I'm gonna continue to vibrate in this high frequency, you know what I mean, and continue to move with love. You see what I mean? So, like I said, let us not blame anybody, and let us not say who is bad and nothing like that. Like for me, the way I interpret that is this, right? The sister has been through a lot. Okay, so anytime, and I've realized that in other interviews as well. Go look at her other interviews on YouTube, and when other people are interviewing her, she has this aggression, and there's nothing wrong with that, because I realize you've been going through it, and she said that she hasn't, but you are. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it is still a battle, it is still a fight, and that you are dealing with, and I brought you on the platform so your people, our people, what I'm saying, could hear your story and support you and get behind you. That was the whole intended purpose of doing this video. But at the same time, people had questions about the movie. You have a book coming out, people got those questions. You know what I mean? But you getting aggressive and you telling me I don't understand and I don't do. I mean, anyway, if you have any one of your sisters that want to come on, like I said, we're gonna continue to build. This is the Matriarch Sunday, so we're gonna make that happen. All right, and that's it. At the end of the day, we're still gonna send out love to our sister. All right, wish her all the best. You know what I mean, on her journey, and whatever she's doing, we're still gonna support it. You know what I mean? It is what it is, because we have to support our own. You know what I mean? So so anybody want to come on and talk about the situation, we're not gonna bash again the sister. But if you want to come on, let me know, and let's get on. It's Matriarch Sunday, and let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. All right. Unfortunately, I was hoping that it wouldn't have gone that way. You know what I'm saying? Because it just took a left turn. You know, it just took a left turn, but it's all right though. I'm gonna put the link for the build in the video, and a few of the sisters could come on and let's talk about it. Again, we're gonna be respectful. All right, that's not what this is about. This is not, this platform is not about bashing our people, bashing our brothers, bashing our sisters. All right. So we're just gonna keep it again in love. All right, in love. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. You feel me? But a lot of our people, man, and I'm speaking here generally, okay? When you look at a tree, right? What is the most beautiful part of a tree? I mean, visually, the most beautiful part of a tree is, and I'm talking about visually, right? As far as the eyes could see, the most beautiful part of a tree is not the roots. It is not the stem of the tree. It is not the branches, but you know what it is? It's the flowers. That's where the beauty is at. Okay, and the flower is gentle. And a lot of our people have been beat down so much that a lot of us have lost the essence of what it means to be gentle. You see what I'm saying? So when a lot of times we build with each other, there's always this defense that's being put up. Okay, this aggression. We got to come at each other, and it doesn't always have to be that way. Okay, we don't have to be so harsh and so aggressive with each other. You know, we are building. Our people have been hurt, and hurt people hurt people. You see what I'm saying? So we have to get away from, and I'm not saying get away, we have to grow into learning how to deal with each other with love again, man. You know what I mean? And everything happened the way it was supposed to happen. You see what I'm saying? Everything happened for a reason. You see? I mean, she's my elder. I have a lot of respect for her, so I'm not going to disrespect her. You know what I mean? But as our elders, you're absolutely right. Rich Life 412, our elders are supposed to set an example. You feel me? Our elders are supposed to be set the example. But for anyone to set the example, they have to learn how to set the example. You feel me? And that's what it's about. So any one of you sisters that want to come on the live build, Sister Felicia, if you would like to get on, let me know. All right. I put the link in the description. Anybody want to come on, because we are still doing our matriarch build. All right. Okay, so we are still doing that. All right. That doesn't change anything. All right. We still have a lot of work to do. And whether people want to, admit it or not, it's a fight out here. Whether it may be a physical fight or a spiritual fight, we at war. Okay. We at war. And that's just what it is. Because right now, they're literally bringing in 5G. And what is 5G? They're bringing in 5G to change the whole frequency to affect people's vibration and their frequency. So this is war. We at war. You know? So at the end of the day, man, we all fighting, man, whether people want to admit it or not. It's all a fight. So anytime, you have a situation where somebody's versus somebody, it's war. It's a fight. But sometimes a lot of us are actually in denial. So we got to work on ourselves, our inner selves. We can't just talk about spirituality. We can't just talk about ascending into higher frequencies when there's turmoil within. You know what I'm saying? There's a battle going on within, and we have to fight. We don't have to do that. You know. All right. So who's the guest? Who's the guest we got on now?
Oh snap! I wasn't expecting to come on so immediately.
Oh, no, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. You didn't know you was on?
Give me a second. I would like to put on my headphones if you don't mind.
Oh, no. Go ahead. Do your thing. Do your thing whenever you're ready to hear. Yep.
All right, no problem. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we could hear you loud and clear.
Oh, good.
All right. So we still keeping this. Like I said, here's the thing. We're still gonna keep this as the matriarch build. This platform was the Sunday build was for sisters to learn to come together and build and grow together. So we're still gonna keep that going. So energy going. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so
please.
Introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are. What part
Hi.
of territory you in.
My name is Alana. I am actually in Barbados in the Caribbean.
That's what's up.
Hi.
We got an American Aborigine from Barbados in the Caribbean. So go ahead, speak your mind, sis.
No, I was just gonna say that I was really, because I discovered you on Crumb Live that you had. I'm not yesterday. I think the day before you had a live with him, and I loved the chat. It was so informative. And I followed you from there just to see what your work was all about. And oh my gosh, it is amazing. And it's so informative. When you had the live yesterday, I learned so much, dude. It was beyond mind-blowing. It was so cool. And when you and Crumb talk about battery is low. Doing the live with, first of all, I did not know much about her story. I did not even know that the Matrix was hers. I didn't have a lot of information. So when you guys spoke about it and I got more information, I was really fascinated. With the fact that she was going to come on and speak about it. So I was really excited for tonight. So I'm kind of disappointed, but I too understand that over the years, fighting for your work and for your vision, and as a woman, and as a Black woman too, having to fight for your right, for your everything, it is going to be a bit hard on her. And I totally understand her insecurities, her defensiveness, because that's just what it was. And I did not see her as angry. I saw her as making sure that she protects herself. She's always in fight mode, as we notice and hear and seen for over the years. So I totally understand her emotion for just how she behaved. Yeah. So I get that.
Right. And that's cool. And just for the record, I know, on our beautiful platform, we don't identify as Black because we are not Black.
Yeah.
All right. We are indigenous people, American Aboriginals, to the like. we could even say as so-called colored people or brown people. But
True. Mm.
I agree, and like I said, I'm not going to use this opportunity to bash our sister. She's still my
Yes,
sister,
please.
and
Mm.
that's what you see a lot of people expect us to do.
Yes,
When we have
please.
this type of so-called disagreement, they want us to fight each other,
Fight it
beat each other
exactly.
up, and I'm not going to do that.
No,
And
we
I'm not going to
won't.
say that she was angry. I'm not going to say that.
No,
I
she
get the
wasn't.
point that you are always in the defensive mode because you have been under
A
this
lot of fire.
pressure. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, please.
For a while. So
Yeah.
I still want my my elder and my sister to know that I love her. So at the end
Mm.
of the day, that's what it's about.
Yes,
So
please.
tell us about the temperature in Barbados right now. What's going on?
Actually, it's raining.
Oh, it's raining.
Yeah, it's been raining for like 2 days now. It was sunny this morning. I went to the beach,
Mm,
and then as we came back about I think it's 11 or so, it
mm,
was raining from then to now. As you can see, I have on a very thick shirt.
mm.
So yeah, it's really cold over here.
Oh, really?
I
Wow.
yeah, is well for me.
Man,
I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if they start bringing winter into Barbados, into the
You know what I
Caribbean,
mean? And snow and stuff.
because
Because
they're manipulating these weathers. You know what I'm saying?
yes, please.
But yeah, we have one love added as a guest. So my sister,
Okay.
continue to support the channels and continue to keep in touch. Because
No
like I said,
problem. Will
we are
do.
all one big family on
Yes,
the American
please.
continent. We're all brothers and sisters. So I
Mm-hmm.
am so pleased that you came on the channel and you are
Thank you.
actually calling from Barbados. So much love, my Barbados
Much love to you.
brethren. Make sure you eat some cocoa and fly fish for me next week.
I don't do I
Yeah.
don't do fries, so it will have to be baked.
All right, so big fish and some cuckoo.
It's
Because I love
true.
me some cuckoo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So eat some of that for me next week and continue to stay in
I'm
touch.
not from here though, by the way. I live here, but I'm from Guyana.
Oh, you from
So I'm
Guyana?
not
Okay,
yes,
same thing.
please.
Guyana is South America. Like I said, we
Yes,
all
please.
Aboriginals. You feel me?
Yeah.
I appreciate
All
love you, my
right.
sister. Thank you.
No problem. Have a
All
good
right.
night.
Have a great one. All right, take care.
Yeah, bye
Hey.
bye.
All right. Just want to say thank you to our sister Alana for coming on. All right, we have
How do I hang up?
I got you, my sister.
Okay.
All right. Okay, we have lovely one, lovely one. Greetings, 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 greetings. Okay, let me see. I want to make sure that she's on mute. Let me see. I don't.
Peace and love, family. Can you hear
Hey,
me?
greetings, my sister. Greetings, my sister. How you doing? We also have our sister Kachina on the build. Go ahead, my sister Kachina.
Peace and love, Kachina.
Say hi
Can
to
you hear me?
yes, say hi to the platform. We could hear you.
Greeting, it's Kachina.
Yes, Kachina, Kachina. I always say Kachina.
Kachina's singing to well, I guess it's spelled China, but you know. How's everyone?
Man, listen, we're doing
Freedom.
great. We're doing
We
great.
are. We
What I'm
are.
gonna do is this, right? I'm gonna let our sister Moonlight Feather, just give her take on the bill. We still gonna keep it respectful because, like I said, we gotta do this in love, regardless of whether we have any type of disagreements or misunderstanding. We have to learn to deal with it as brothers and sisters. So go ahead, sister, lovely one. Go ahead.
Oh, yes. So, yeah, in regards to that, I think it was just a little too much hostility,
Mhm,
for one, inside of the sister. Like you said, she may be going through, I have no idea of
mhm,
what she's going through in her life. And,
mhm,
sometimes that could add fuel to whatever's fire going on inside of you. So I think that it was just a little bit of that
mhm,
going on in her. And she was just a little, just adamant about getting her point across, but
mhm,
just, in a really, really aggressive way.
mhm.
So that's the way that I looked at it. But yeah, she was just a real powerful sister and just had a lot of fire in her,
Right.
basically.
I
You
agree.
know.
I agree. All
Mhm.
right. Go ahead, sister Kachina.
Well, I would agree. And you've mentioned the other interviews that Sister Sophia has been on, and that's her nature. She
Mhm,
comes across like that. That's not uncommon.
mhm,
But in that whole Hollywood world is really a different world. I
mhm,
mean, what she's had to deal with, I can't even imagine.
Right.
And then there's just this whole element of targeting, and I don't really want to get into it too much
mhm,
because it's you have to be very mindful how you even engage with it because it's it's a slippery kind of manipulation that goes on
mhm,
with people. And she sounded to me like you know, she's, like I said, had to deal with a lot. And yeah, so much love to the sister. And I don't even know what else to say about
Well, I mean,
that.
I totally agree. I get it. And what we have to do is, again, we have to continue sending positive, positive energy and send love. You know what I'm saying, to our sister, whether she's going through something or not. At the end of the day, we still have to support each other. So I totally agree, and that's what we're gonna do.
Right. I'm a
I have
little
seen,
upset because
yeah,
I had some questions.
yeah, I know, and I have the paper right
you
here.
know,
I
you
was
know,
going through the list, and I was
right, right.
asking questions that the
But
people here. Yeah.
honestly, Chief, listening to
Mm,
how it was going really from the get-go, it never really quite got on the rails.
right.
It didn't. I don't know that she was prepared to answer any questions
Mm,
Right.
today.
right. Right.
And I was just so shocked that a sister created those movies. I mean, I was just like, wow, that's
Mm,
unbelievable to me. I was very proud to know that.
I'm gonna be
right.
honest. I'm gonna be honest.
Mm,
I heard about her struggle like early when it and close to when it was going on when she
mm,
first back in the early 2000s.
mm.
And when I first the very first interview I heard with her, she was like kind of like this,
Yeah.
and I couldn't believe my ego, I guess, couldn't accept
Mm,
because she just didn't even sound insightful enough at the time
mm,
to have written such, quality, in-depth
mm,
work. But
mm,
then later on, I was
mm.
ashamed of myself for having that feeling because
Right.
I saw her in another interview and she's got all these degrees and they're real. And she was like talking this science and math with, I can't remember who the interviewer was.
Mm,
And she was kind of showing her chops at the moment.
mm,
And just from my own experience and knowing folks, in the industry and just in certain positions and just how they're kind of throwing everything out at us now. They're throwing everything. It's like, I call it throwing spaghetti at the wall. Everything they got to take us out,
right.
they just throwing it out there, just trying to catch something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a lot of folks getting caught up. I mean, it's
Mm,
not
mm.
just folks in the know,
Right.
in the limelight. And so
Right.
it really is important for us to just, in terms of the spiritual work, I believe personally, Chief, that the spiritual work
Mm.
is the most important part. I
Yes.
feel that
I
if
agree.
we continue to react
Mm,
and from these unhealed places, that we'll continue to
mm,
create the kind of chaos, all this
mm.
power
Yeah.
without any clear direction because we ourselves individually aren't in that balanced state. And it's a constant thing. It's not like a place you get to.
Mm,
So things like this, what we all just experienced with this
yeah.
sister.
Yeah.
And she wrote, I have no doubt at this point that she wrote these works
Yeah.
and she has these gifts in her.
Mm,
But look, we've all experienced her misery, her fight. She's in battle
mm,
with herself
mm.
at this point, but it's come from all these battles that she has to fight
Right.
outside of herself.
Mm,
And we kind of all have that in
yeah.
some way. And it's just really important to really do that inner work of loving ourselves and cut each other a little more slack, to
Yeah.
really, we're very sensitive. We take things really personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We need to cut ourselves some slack as well
exactly.
sometimes. We are very hard on ourselves.
Exactly. I
Mm,
agree.
Yeah.
mm, I mean, I totally agree, and like I tell people, I'm gonna say it again. You know, you know, this whole platform right here, especially the matriarch builds, it's about our sisters, stepping up and again learning to love themselves, learning to love each other. Because whether our people want to be, want to admit it or not, our people have been beat down. I mean, we have been beat down so much, and a lot of us don't realize it because the beat down has become part of our normal lives. You know what I mean? So all this platform is about, speaking out, telling our truth. You know what I mean? As painful as it may seem or feel, all right, this is what this is about. All right. And just from the very incept of the whole conversation, you saw that what was working. How is that you guys are able to come on and I'm able to hear you, but then spend literally almost 45
Right.
minutes to get it on because we know there are certain powers that wanted to intervene, and they had already planted
Interference.
that seed. You see what I'm saying? Because we have never had that problem on whether it was the matriarch bill or any other bill. Look at the past few matriarch bills we have had. But because they wanted to interject and make sure that, it let it appear like she's going to plant some type of negative seed, they interjected. And I'm not saying that she did. I'm saying like it appeared. All right. Because
Right.
I don't want to make accusations. You see what I mean? So we have to realize, like you said, Sister Kachina, the spiritual aspect of things. And and to Max V production, there's nothing else I could have done for it to have gone differently, brother. You see what I'm saying? Because if I was aggressive, then I'll apologize for that. But I wasn't aggressive. You know what I mean? I have a paper that people ask questions. All right. So I'm basically waiting and I'm listening for like 15, 20 minutes. But then at some point, it's a dialogue, it's a conversation. You know what I mean? I have to get something in. But it's like every time I try to get something in, I get punched in the face.
But it really wasn't personal. She really wasn't. She wasn't present.
Yeah, yeah.
She wasn't present with this interview. Period.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason.
Right.
And so it wasn't really anything else. You couldn't have done anything else because she wasn't present.
Yeah, and it's all good. So we are continuing to move on and do what we are doing. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like I said, I'm not gonna. Some people would have been like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I have too much respect for my elders, number one, and number two, I have too much respect for our sisters. Even if it was a brother, I wouldn't have, gotten all mad and aggressive and start cursing my brother. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. Because I want to be the example that I'm speaking of. Okay, I want to be the example that I'm speaking of, and I implore each and every one of us to learn to be the example that we so seek, because everybody's seeking, looking for something, but nobody's trying to find the seeker, and that's the problem. You see what I'm saying? We always seeking and looking outside of ourselves, but have we found ourselves? And that's what we have to look for. So, Sister Love, go ahead and just add to that if you may.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. We definitely have to know ourselves before we can we have to, know ourselves before we're able to communicate fully with anybody else. And the dialogue that you guys were having between each other was more of her voicing her opinion or voicing her aggression or anger rather than having just peaceful dialogue with you. So, we have to just relax sometimes and just take a deep breath and just, we all go through, we all gonna go through some things sometimes, but just relax and, we'll get through it together.
Oh, yes, we are. We are. And the sister who actually introduced me to her, I'm not going to call her name, or made the connection, she just texted me and said she apologized, but I let her know it's okay. There's nothing to be, to be apologetic about, because again, this happened the way it was supposed to happen. All right. There is nothing we could have done differently to make it go any other way. You see, everything is happening for the way it's supposed to happen. All right. Maybe there's something that I need to learn from this. Maybe there's something that the audience need to learn from this. Maybe there's something that even our sister need to learn from this. You see what I'm saying? So it went the exact way it was supposed to be. So my sister, please, no need for apologies. No need for apologies, because like I said, maybe that was a test for me. All right. I have two of my beautiful Aboriginal sisters on the platform, and I'm going to tell you what's coming to me right now. This was a test for me to see how I would have reacted. Would I respond or would I react? Because the world is watching. Let's see. You see what I'm saying? People don't realize that even if we are always pushing to be good, positive, and loving, there is also a duality, an opposite side that's always fighting us. All right. So now here, Chief, pushing all this positive energy, loving our people, giving our women a platform. But let us put a seed in there to see if we could throw Chief off, because it kind of caught me off guard. But you know what? The spirit hit me and said, no, Chief, chill. You see what I'm saying? Just be the example. And instead of reacting, respond, because the world is watching. So that's the message that I got from it. So I just want Sister Sophia Stewart to know that I love you, and I'll never disrespect you as my elder and as my sister. So with that being said, if we have to get on and do it again, we'll do it again. If not, then that's fine. The Matrix 4 come out or the book, I'm still going to support the book. And I'm going to show people I bought the book and support you. because that's what I do. And I'm going to continue to support my people regardless of our differences.
Absolutely. I want to say too, on what you're saying in terms of takeaways from all of this, I can say for myself that the sister, being like on her own point only is not uncommon. If you look at even the arena you've been
Yeah.
working in and playing, and I say playing in the sense that you've made it look like your life, which it is. You know what I mean? That's what I mean by that. And it's like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of that.
Mm.
It's not uncommon, her the way she was. You have been fortunate in terms of the people you've interviewed, and even on the street and stuff, you've had this just people responding to you in kind.
Yeah.
But it's all kinds of stuff out here, and we know it. And even with this Aboriginal work and all this coming out, it's all these beefs. People want to have battles, and that's died down some, I think. I think it's died down some in terms of folks wanting to always have a conflict of some kind.
Yeah.
But I think that's a big part of what needs to heal for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. All right. But like I said, man, we are moving forward, and like we always say, right? We may not be traveling in the same mode of transportation, but we all have the same destination. You see what I'm saying? And it's okay. It's okay, because at the end of the day, we all are striving towards finding peace, okay, wholesomeness, finding love. We are all striving towards that. And that's what this platform is about. I don't care if I'm building with brothers. I'm not going to be on here debating my brothers. I'm not going to be on here fighting my brothers. And I've set that example on many, many occasions. All right. So, and I'm going to continue to set the example. And shout out to my brother Crumb. All right. Because at the end of the day, family, our people do what they see us do, not what we say. All right. So, our actions have to back up the things that we say. And that's very important to me. Okay. Especially when we dealing with our sisters. I want to show the utmost respect. It doesn't mean that I'm going to disrespect my brothers, but I have to show a higher level of respect for my sisters, especially my elders, because I know our women have been beat down so much, and not just by this devilish system, but also by our own people, our own men, and even women that's out here beating each other down. Okay? And I'm trying to elevate us out of that. You feel me?
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate love you guys. Like I said, we have a lot of work to do. We are going to continue to push forward. And with that being said, man, listen, the floor is y'all. Y'all could talk and do your thing. I'm here. If any other sisters want to come on, we are still building. This is the matriarch build. Let's build.
Cool. I've been thinking about BET's broadcast every year called Black Girls Rock, and I've been putting a lot of thought into that concept and that basically indoctrination of our young girls every year into being Black. And I wanted to do something. I want to do something about that. So, I came up with a song, or I'm about to come up with a song or a hook for a song in reference to us being brown girls, and I want us to reference it and call it Brown Girls Rock.
Okay. I'm totally for that.
And I want to make that I just want to make a statement with Brown Girls Rock, and
yeah,
just make that as big as Black Girls Rock. So that would be imprinted into our young girls.
All right, and
knowing who they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
From the giddy up.
I agree. And Michael Green, whoever you are, I'm not even gonna cater to and that's the thing. You see, a lot of people come with negativity because I'm uplifting our women and I want our women to have a voice. All of a sudden, I'm a feminist as well. Does that even make sense? Do some of you people even listen to yourselves? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's ridiculous, man, how a lot of our people think, especially a lot of our men. I want to give our women a platform, a voice, because their voice is buried. All right? Our women are being beaten down, and we're supposed to protect them and uplift them. So by me making to an attempt today. That makes a lot of sense. Go ahead, Sister Kachina, if you're there.
Oh, I'm here.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Can
it's
you
a
guys
lot.
still hear
It's a
me as
lot.
well?
yeah. We could
Yeah,
hear
I
you.
can
Yeah,
hear you
Okay,
really,
great,
really
great.
well.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's been a lot of interference on this call from the
yeah.
get-go.
Hmm.
And even when all that stuff was going down, there was a lot of movement in the chat that
Yeah,
wasn't, that was trying to initiate stuff. So
Mhm.
it's
yeah.
just,
And you're right. I think that's the issue because maybe she was looking at the chat and looking at the feedback from the people and coming with all that negativity. And that's why I said
it's possible.
from the very onset, you know what I'm saying? Let us be respectful. But a lot of people are not respectful.
Well, it's sometimes it's not even people, and that's the thing. And
Right,
it's just so much stuff going on, and that's why I said what I said.
right.
And then when and she's in that world, even if she's
Mm,
not, with the
mm,
cabal, and I believe that
mm.
just messing with people, just
Yeah,
pissing off the wrong person,
yep.
they're dealing with stuff.
Mm,
And I've just come to know about this,
mm.
like personally, as we've talked about, Chief.
Yeah.
And the more I've come to know about it, the more I realize how
Mm,
much of a role it plays
mm.
in what's going on with us.
Right, right.
There's a great book. It's called The Were Negro,
Mm, mm, mm,
like a werewolf,
mm,
and it's a young brother wrote it. It's not the best written,
mm,
but the storyline is
mm,
fire. The brother, he really hits on something along these lines,
mm.
and a lot of it we don't want to talk about it. And like I said before, you have to be very mindful how you talk about it because it's kind of like calling on Voldemort.
Mm,
It
mm.
brings up this energy that
Yeah,
you have to be very mindful of how you interact with. So,
yeah.
but mostly people aren't aware, and they think
Right.
they're having mental illness. They're thinking all kinds of stuff,
Mm,
which is just twisted because we live in this upside down reality, and
mm.
that I think we have to deal with that. But
Yeah,
we're so never let them see you sweat. We're gonna tough it out. We're tough. We hold each other to
yeah,
this standard.
yeah.
I like to say, Black people like it rough because we don't want to hear no love and light shit. Excuse me, but we don't want to hear that. We want to, we want it harder, and it's a reason for that because we've been through a lot.
Mm,
But what happens with that kind of vibe is the people closest to us get hit the hardest, and
mm,
our own communities become targets
mm,
for this frustration that we're all feeling, and
mm,
none of us ever feel safe enough
mm,
to be in our own communities
mm,
ourselves,
mm.
to really explore who we really are. And so that's what I feel like you offer this, but it's really precarious. You have to be so careful
Mm.
because there's so many programs running,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I totally get it.
and
I agree.
so
I
yeah,
agree.
but you're doing a beautiful job, Chief.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And
I
another
appreciate
thing,
it. Yes.
yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that because the mere fact that, our sister said that, what, she's not part of the cabal and she was calling out names, you have to realize that they send trolls as well. Okay? They send trolls
Exactly.
into the feed because I saw some people
Right.
I've never seen before. Because remember, we've been promoting
Right.
for about a
That
week
was.
now, a week and a half, right?
Yeah.
So anytime I'm certainly sure her name
Right.
come up in the algorithms, what they're gonna do? They're gonna put their trolls to cause that energy, offset that energy. But we have to be vibrating on
Right.
such a higher frequency that we don't let these things affect us. We have to continue to deal with each other in love. You see what I'm saying? And
That's it. That's it.
and to respond
Right.
to Hilton Howard's comment, at the end of the day, brother, I'm not sure if you know what it means to interview someone. Okay, when you talk, you give them a chance to talk. They give you a chance to talk. I have seen many interviews, and it's pretty much the same thing. It's still that combative behavior. You see what I'm saying? So when it's time for me to take responsibility, I am going to take the responsibility. All right. But when that burden or that liability is not on me, I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to put that on myself to create a karma. Okay.
Right.
I was totally respectful. All right. I was totally loving. All right. And I'm going to continue to stand on that. Okay. With that being said, we have another one of our sisters. Greetings, my sister. How you doing?
Greetings.
All right, go ahead and again, we're here in love, still the matriarch build. Go ahead and talk a little bit about what transpired.
Okay, I'm having the same issue that I did before when I had first come on your platform.
Yeah.
That I'm getting like a repeat and the feedback. So I'm gonna take my headphones off and see maybe if That's the problem.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe that's what it was.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
Okay, so no, I'm going to try to reboot. So
No,
give me a minute.
we hear you just fine.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because on my end I kept getting like a feedback.
Yeah. I mean, I could hear a little, a little feedback, but it's not as bad. It's not as bad.
Not okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me introduce myself. They call me Mama Lioness Moshe. And my name is actually last name Moshe. Okay. Yeah, but I'm having an issue that every time I say something, hear myself getting the same feedback, like I'm repeating myself.
Okay.
But you all are not hearing or experiencing what I'm experiencing.
It's okay. It's not as bad. So you could go ahead and speak your piece, my sister. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so I wasn't there from the beginning,
Mm.
but when I did come in, I did notice that the sister um huh, okay, the sister rightfully so, she's on the fence, but when you're awakening with a type of consciousness to make a change, then we have to come to the conclusion. We have to be able to focus and recognize who our enemies are, and have to be able to separate those type of attitudes that's going to cause conflict between the uprising of our people.
Mm.
Now, to me, when I have a platform, there's an etiquette that I must enforce, because personally, I don't like people talking over each other, because according to the proverbs that I was given as growing up, you allow somebody to speak, and then if you're listening to them, you're showing them how you want to be treated when you open your mouth and speak. So
Mm-hmm.
out of etiquette, or just out of common sense, or just simply respect,
Mm.
it's easier for tongues to have a conversation with somebody before you have a dialogue, to
Mm-hmm.
let them know the rules of the house. Now,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we have to have a platform where basically you allow the person to speak,
Mm-hmm.
like for 20 or 30 minutes, so they can express themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But they already know when quick question Q&A is now going to be available, they have to like search in themselves, to humble themselves, and come to the conclusion that I have to have a different attitude in order for me to answer people's questions.
Mm-hmm.
So that to me is a lot easier to do, to have that type of platform and framework established before you even have an open forum where people have. But you did say that you also learned something from this experience,
Mm-hmm.
which is always a good thing. That means you're open
Mm-hmm.
to be able to recognize that in order, if there's a problem, before you can point a finger at anyone, you have to first check yourself,
Mm-hmm.
So that's a mature thing, because the times that we're living in now, if you're immature, it's now time to become mature. And if you're foolish, it's now time to become wise. Because at this present time of eternity, we don't have time for games. We've been played with long enough. We've been exploited and demised and mistreated. So
Mm-hmm.
now, if people are talking about unity,
Mm-hmm.
then we must come with a different frame of mind, a
Mm-hmm.
different focus, and a different goal. So in this and that alone, we do have to be able to utilize common sense, because people spend money on an education, but the sad thing is they don't even know how to use free common sense.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason why it's easier to raise somebody up from the bottoms and put them in a top position than to have somebody at the top position and think that they can't learn anything or nobody can tell them anything. Because that's no different for the divine mother in spirit. She can take a person from the gutters and set them side by rulers. Take a man out of prison and make him king over his country. But in his old age or even young age, if you can't take advice, do you know better than a young man with intelligence but yet broke? So we have to use common sense and wisdom and just learn. It's kind of like right now, we walk as we learn and we learn as we walk because we don't have time to sit back and read books now. Right. It's when the divine spirit open your mind to receive an intelligence, an instruction, a direction, or even correction. You know, you learn from it because there's no excuse because your first eye, your mind is open to receive correction and you just keep it moving. So I do want to hear the sister's story and I know she will have another opportunity to come on and I hope and when I hope, I don't like the word hope, but I do believe she'll have a different way of coming across so she can share. Because if you truly want to share information to a people who are really sincere about hearing your story, you will have to be able to look within yourself and find a mentality to know that you're talking to people who wants to hear the story and not here to steal your story. You can save that judgment and everything for the ones who is worthy to receive that type of demeanor. But for people on a platform who just really want to hear and support the story, we have to have a different mentality.
Right. Thank you. I appreciate that. And at the ending of the day, you know what? All you sisters, you know what I'm saying, that has been on the build thus far, you're totally right. And for me, I always look for the lesson that needs to be learned in every situation, you know, and to me that's the most important thing because everything, like I said before, that's gonna happen will happen. The question is, what lesson are you gonna learn from it? So I'm certainly sure whether it may be our platform or somebody else's platform, I'm certainly sure our dear sister will have a chance to again express herself differently from how it went on tonight. Hold up. Okay, I'm getting the feedback. Now I'm getting the feedback from your platform, my sister.
Yes, that's what I was saying. I was talking to it the whole time. Yeah. I was doing that the whole time.
Okay, so go ahead, sister Kachina. If you have anything to add on, you know, based what on our sister just articulated, go ahead.
No, what sister said, I'm sorry, I don't remember your name, but what you articulated was beautiful and in alignment with what, you know, the movement here. So no, I don't have anything to add to that.
Platform and framework established before you even have
you have a do me a favor, sis. If you could mute your when, like, if you're not talking, you could mute just because we getting that feedback. Like it seems you have a delay on your end, like you stated before. Yeah.
Okay. I want to share a divine poem that the ancestors gave me. So when you're ready for me to recite that particular poem, just let me know and then I'll unmute.
As a matter of fact, you know, while you have the floor, by all means, go ahead and share with us, my sister. Go ahead, the floor is yours.
Oh, okay. I was going to take a minute to try to figure out what's causing this feedback.
Okay, all right. So go ahead and figure that out, and when you come back, we'll definitely reconvene.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. All right. Okay, so, like once again, you know, family, you know, you know, our platform, you know, what I'm saying, is about setting a precedence where we have to learn to deal with each other with love and in love. Okay. You see, those, yes, we still have the word love in there, but it's two different approach to love. To be in love and with love, all right, it makes complete love. You feel me? Because sometimes we could deal with each other in love, but sometimes, there's no love. You see what I'm saying? That it's a thin line between in love and with love. All right. So that's what we are doing on this platform, showing the world that we are not going to allow them. Okay. And when I say them, I'm talking about all these trolls and all these negative energies. You know what I'm saying? One of our brothers mentioned the retrograde. That could have been, a possibility, that interference. All right. Because we are dealing on a spiritual, and I'm using that word spiritual very lightly, but we are dealing on a higher frequency right now. All right. And it doesn't matter what dimension that you're on, there is always those other opposite forces that wants to step in and cause chaos. You feel me? But when you are operating and you are in the stage of ascending into your deity status or your godship, so to speak, or your Christ consciousness, we have to be aware of the temptations. We have to be aware of the temptations, because the temptations, they come so subtle sometimes. When it hit us so hard, we just react, opposed to being able to catch it as soon as it hit us. We know what it is, and as soon as it happened, I knew what it was. So I had to calm my spirit. I had to calm my inner self. All right, in order for my outer self to stay in check. And that's what it means by moving in the higher self. All right. So again, once again, it's all love. And I'm gonna reach out to our sister again. I'll text her, I'll call her, and hopefully she'll pick up or respond. If she do, great, we'll talk. If she don't, then it's fine. You know what I mean? I for what I've learned from her, I respect her story, and I'm still gonna support her. I respect her journey. You know what I mean? And we all have a part to play in what's coming. All right, in what's coming, we all have a part to play. So I'm certainly sure our path will cross again. I'm certainly sure it will. All right. We have two of our sisters on the build. Any one of you guys could take the floor.
Oh yeah, I feel like we're eventually stand together and do what we got to do in order to make things right.
Mm-hmm.
One step at a time. It'll take. That's how I feel.
Yeah,
One day at a time.
you're going in and out, sis. You faded.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
turn up
Yes,
my
it's
volume.
definitely one step at a time for
Mm-hmm.
sure. And we really have to, I mean, that whole thing about being able to
Yeah.
be understanding with each other and in that love space. Now, understand, because there's going to be people you just don't like. I mean, it's just vibes. It doesn't mean the person's
Mm-hmm.
bad. It just means
Mm-hmm.
your vibes just don't
Mm-hmm.
match. But if we could just
Right.
respect
Right.
that, and not mean like we
Yeah.
have to go to war and get everybody else go to war against,
Mm-hmm.
we get into this whole, you've spoken about it a lot, Chief. We get into this whole personal thing when it really isn't personal.
Right.
And I really think it's the way we got in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way we got in the first place. That's taking things personal and, um, you know, dealing with one another with less than love.
Mm-hmm.
Because somewhere we lose the love for ourselves. So it has to start somewhere inside ourselves. The way we treat each other. It's a seriously running program that we have to resist. It's like we have to seriously work on it because, like you said, it's so become so normal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching folks, and it seems like it ramped up over these last few years. Like the programs got more entrenched in people. I watch
Mm-hmm.
people kind of shut down around hearing some things, even though other people opened up to it.
Mm-hmm.
But do you know what I mean? It's like um, the program of how to be what we've been taught since childhood, going to school, getting the education, the degrees, and, just the path that everybody's taught.
Right.
Folks take that very seriously. And
Right.
from what I've learned, all of it, I mean, every bit of the education,
Mm-hmm.
all the ologies and the isms and all of them are designed to keep us from knowing who we are. I mean,
Right.
it's really
Yep.
to that
Yep. Yep.
extent. It's mind-boggling and really unbelievable, and why people find such a hard time believing it. Because it's like, really? Yes, really. Because the deeper you
Yeah.
go, that's really the bottom line to it all. And we can see it now in things that don't make sense. Like, why do all the actors have to be white no matter what the nationality of the story is? You know, why do we have to have it set up this certain way? And folks just take it as normal. It's just the way it is. And folks will fight about it, but you know, blah, blah, blah. But you're not
Yeah.
really looking at why is that? You know, why can't you just share? What is the problem with, you know, being on equal footing with everyone? It's a really seriously running program.
And
But
to
we can
add on to that,
reprogram. We
Yeah,
can
and it
reprogram,
is
and we
because, and
are.
another thing, you know, I wanted to yeah, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. You wanted to add on to that. Go ahead.
oh yeah, I was gonna ask this, and you know, to add
Oh, okay.
on
I
to
thought you
that,
said
you
you
know,
wanted
the
to add
movie.
something on to.
No, I did. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
we
Oh,
can. Yeah.
good. Okay. The
Yeah.
movie,
Yeah.
I believe it's The Little Mermaid, where they have the sister, um forget her name, but she's actually an artist, a singer. She's a brown skinned sister that is actually
Mm-hmm.
playing the lead role of Ariel in The Little Mermaid. So, you know, when this came about,
Mm-hmm.
all of, you know, social media and Twitter just got in an uproar because it's a brown skinned sister playing this role. So I wanted to see, you know,
Mm-hmm.
how you guys felt about that, you know.
Well, yes. If I may, you know, this is one of the things that I actually wanted to do in a different bill, but I'm glad, you know, it came up. And while we on it, let's just go with the flow. All right.
Sure.
We have to, as a people, right? This is what I would like us to realize is this: our potential and our value to humanity. Okay,
Mhm.
we have been undermined from the very inception of colonization. Okay, our true potential and who we are, whether it may be from a higher consciousness or what we call a spiritual perspective, or within our physical, what they call our shadow. You know what I'm saying? Personas. You know, we are being undermined, and I'll tell you exactly what I mean by that. Okay, Hollywood in itself, they don't want to portray any superheroes in Hollywood as brown skin or dark skin or so-called black or African American, whatever terminology that we may deem at that time appropriate, right? Hollywood don't want to do that. But what our people have to realize, and that's why it's very important to do research and read, because in 2013, a survey was done. And out of that survey, when they look at the spending potential amongst different ethnic groups, or if I may, so-called races, okay, they realize that within the power, the spending power of the so-called black people, they realize that if they took us out of the equation, that their products and the services would not be as successful
Absolutely.
as it would have been, okay, with just other ethnic groups. Because when they looked at it, they realized that, damn, without these so-called black people, literally we are losing trillions of dollars, because this so-called black, and I'm saying so-called, these so-called black
Absolutely.
people, they have a spending economic power together of about, when they did the survey, it was about 1.1 trillion dollars, and they say by 2017 they're going to have a spending power of 1.3 over 1.4 trillion dollars.
Wow.
So this is what we have to do. Okay, we have to put more, and how, and this is what was said. The survey said that these so-called black people that's here in the United States, they are very visual. And how do they get the message? They get the message through art, through what they see on TV and in the movies. Okay, but because they're not seeing themselves in these positions, all right, a lot of them are being rebellious and not support. So therefore, we are not getting the profit we are supposed to gain from them. So they came to the conclusion that we should start putting more so-called black people in movies, Black Panther, Black Lightning. Okay, it doesn't mean that they want to do it genuinely. No, remember,
Right.
family, with these people, it is not personal. It is always business.
Hmm.
Okay, so for a business perspective and the benefit of them economically, okay, they have to put us in these roles because they know our people will go support our own, because we are a very loving people and supportive of each other regardless of what they're trying to put out there in the public. Okay, we support each other, we
Yes.
love each other, but they are promoting the propaganda that we don't support each other, that we don't love each other. But however, we are the ones that go support these so-called black movies. So that is the main reason why they portray Ariel and they're putting her as a brown-skinned sister in the movie, not because they feel we deserve a chance. Family,
Right.
these people don't think we deserve a chance. They don't want to
Right.
give us a chance. What people missing is this. Those were the same people that came here and murdered and massacred our ancestors.
Right.
And I'm talking about that was over 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago. It hasn't even been 100 years. And they are the children of those same people. So what make you think all of a sudden in 50 years, these people are just going to get up, oh, we love these so-called black people. Let's give them opportunity so they could be our equals. No, it is not personal. It is business. And they will put you in the position. They would dry you. They would dry you, literally take all your energy. And when they can't use you no more, they get rid of you. And I digress.
Right. Yeah. I was just so happy and proud to see the
on that, but I just wanted to point that out.
The people on Twitter, you know, I like to see people's real reactions to things. So we got a chance to see, you know, how people really feel, just like with Trump, you know, we get a chance to see how everybody's real feelings are. So that's the great thing about it.
And of course, and you see one of those things that happen and you get to see people's true emotions. And that's what's happening. They don't want to see us succeed. They don't want to see us as equals. No. All right. They want to use our energy, beat us down, continue to live these lavish lives. You know, I'm talking about yachts every summer, for vacations in the Caribbean 6-7 times a month while we here slaving. Brothers and sisters, open up your eyes and see what's going on. They are not giving us these opportunities because they want to see so-called black people rise. No, they're doing it strictly for economical purposes. But however, to us, it's spiritual. So they're fighting us. But anyway, go ahead, my sister Kachina.
No,
that's the
thing, but it's like all of this lavish lifestyle and all of this, you know, Cribs Life bling all over social media. I mean, white people are still 4 times more likely to commit suicide than black people in this country. And what sense does that make? If what, you know what I'm saying? All of that is what it is. If it's supposed to be all of that, then why is that? How could that be? How does that make any sense at all? When you know the truth, it makes sense.
Right.
So on some level, it's meant you can't be happy. You cannot enjoy what you stole because you're always looking over your shoulder. You know, so, and you know me, my whole journey has been, my past lives have probably been a seer, shaman of some kind, because I'm very much connected to those worlds. And my whole journey into diving into what people say I'm supposed to do, I'm supposed to build these certain structures and whatnot, almost destroyed me. I could see where it had just absolutely destroyed some part of the people who I was supposedly supposed to follow. You know, they had everything, but there was a misery there. And it was to do to me and others that looked like them, things that I would never consider doing. So if that's what, you know, if that's what that kind of sacrifice to have that kind of lifestyle gets you, not saying we're not supposed to we're supposed to be opulent. We are abundant by nature. But this price that people are paying by design, because the system is like, you can go into a thing with the best of intentions, right? But the machine will force you to either play, get out, be destroyed. One way or another, your energy is going to be co-opted to fit the machine. It's not there to serve you. And that's pretty much what we're up against. Underneath all of the treaties and underneath all of the stuff is this spell. And this is really what was used. And they disconnected us from our we are spell givers. We are the creators of everything. These are, you know, thieves, basically, in terms of nature. They're not creator beings. We are. But they disconnect us from that by saying all that woo-woo stuff. And you got to be mindful. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out here. You don't want to just be connected with anything. But when you're vibing at a higher rate, there's certain things you're just not going to do. It's only certain energies you're going to attract. And other energies really can't touch you. And that's why they're always trying to bring your energy down. If they were constantly, it's like a constant effort, constant everywhere, distractions, something to throw you into some kind of chaos to bring you down to a lower frequency. And so that's really the main work.
Mm.
Because when we're in the higher frequency, life moves us
Yeah.
in the ways that serves us. And I know you know this because this is your journey.
Yes.
And that's what we have to learn instead of constantly being triggered by these distractions that really don't mean anything. Movie stars' lives. You talk about it all the time. It's like, why do I even know about Kim Kardashian? Why?
Right.
How, you know, and on that, I saw a headline. It was Kim Kardashian West and Kanye. What? I'm like, my mind is like, but that's how things are moving.
Yeah.
And it's subtle unless you see it when it's very obvious. When you see it, like, really, how do people not see it? And so, yeah, it's just like with the aerial thing you're talking about, those people that show up, you know, they're trying to act so fragile, like, why? You know, it's supposed to be this image, you know, and it's so fragile, yet superior somehow at the same time. You know, that whole thing, I call them gatekeepers. It's not the fragility.
Yep.
They're there to keep that story in line. No, we can't get you can't have the slightest image. We can't have you on equal ground with us on stage because you outshine us every time.
Yeah.
It's like this hijack, basically, of a birthright, which is insane.
Right.
So, you know, it can't work. And I think that for me, when we function from that place, when we can get clear and clear all the anger and the betrayal, because there's wounds in there. We are wounded by we've been through hell, literally. The devil came for real, you know?
I agree.
So we ourselves have to allow one another the honor of surviving all of this, for one thing, with a smile.
Right.
We can still dance.
Yes.
Most of us ain't got no holes to speak of. You know what I mean? we're good. We have each other.
Right.
And so we don't want to. This thing of fighting and conflict is a thing that's being fed.
Yeah.
It's a part of the program. So we have to be like vigilant.
Yes.
Like, and mean it, not just I'm gonna smile on your face and then talk about you behind your back, but mean it. Really search that love in our hearts for each other.
Yes.
And appreciation.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you that why would that be the thing they're constantly trying to keep us from being?
Right.
Because that's their kryptonite.
Yes.
Us loving each other. It's just that simple.
Exactly.
They
I
can't
agree.
deal with it. They can't deal.
I agree.
So we need to get on it because like you said, we got work to do.
I agree. Yep. And just to build on what you just said, typical example, right? Look at sports, right? Because we excel at everything, even in sports, right? They have to find a way to stay in control. So you know what? I know y'all gonna play basketball better than us. I know y'all gonna play football better than us. I know y'all playing baseball better than us. Y'all even taking over hockey. But you know what? We're gonna show that we're gonna stay in control because we have to give you the paycheck. You see, it's always a thing where they have to be the ones to be in control, opposed to saying, all right, let us create our own platform where we pay our own people. No, they have to maintain some type of control. Okay, you know what? Yes, you're stronger, you're faster, so what? But guess who's writing your check? So, you know, Sister Kachina, I totally agree with what you just said.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep. But you know, we have to, you know, again, you know, we are doing what we are supposed to do. And another thing you said, which is, and I'm glad that you acknowledged that, and thank you for the acknowledgement, that we have to allow, you know, the higher self to move the flesh. You see, because too many of us get caught up in the illusion, and that's what's happening. It's all an illusion. It's not real, but they are pushing it as it's real. And like you said, okay, they have the gatekeepers that are kept in place to continue to push the illusions. All right. Why does it take how many lawyers? Okay. I'm talking about, I know lawyers personally who have made attempts to get brothers and sisters out of jail. Okay. I know communities and people who have held, you know, not riots, but maybe riots, but I'm talking about marches and demonstrations to get some of our people out of jail. And that didn't work. But it had to take Kim Kardashian to go to the White House and get some of our people out of jail. What message do you think they're sending? It is not a coincidence. No. Okay? It is not a coincidence. Everything is done by design. Okay? Everything is done by design. You have literally thousands of so-called black people in the streets marching to get people out of jail because they were put in there because of injustice. They were wrongly imprisoned and they couldn't accomplish that, but yet still It took Kim Kardashian to go to the White House and talk to Trump, and all of a sudden you have people coming out of jail. Come on. I mean, if we can't see what's going on, man, I mean, what can I say? Go ahead, sis. Any one of y'all.
I agree totally.
Yeah, the spell is deep, and that's why I've harped on it a lot lately
Mhm.
because of what I said earlier. How exactly? How do people care? How are there like millions of followers of these families who've
Mhm.
really contributed nothing? I mean, I'm that I can see that serves us in any meaningful way, and
Right.
yet folks are all cut up.
Mhm.
It's you have to look at just forget the really nasty stuff that goes on, just the general programming and ads and TV shows, and just constantly these images that looped over and over again
Mm.
of superiority and inferiority.
Yeah.
And it,
Yeah.
like you said, they're trying to keep up. Like
Mm.
messages seem to be changing. It seems to be more, positive, so-called Black characters and whatnot. But it really is always to steer the message. It's always an attempt to keep you from really connecting to who you are.
Right. Right.
And it gets more and more subtle. You have to be. I think that that's the biggest work. I think if each of us, or enough of us,
Mm.
were really digging deep to dig these programs up out of ourselves,
Mhm.
we wouldn't be so easily activated when something gets thrown out there.
Right.
That we'd be able to do what we just exhibited here.
Mhm.
We'd be able to just do that easily, which it was beautiful, by the way.
Mhm.
There
Mhm.
was a beautiful energy flow with how that went,
Yeah.
and compared to how it could have gone,
Yeah.
which I think everybody watching it could see.
Mhm.
And so that's just it. We have to just keep that vibration rising,
Mhm.
and eventually we won't be bothered by certain things. It
Right.
really is like that. We won't even have to be reacting all the time.
Yeah. And Sister Jen, I mean, you're absolutely right, and this is one of the constant build, we have on this platform and many other platforms, that a lot of our people are in these situations because, they identify themselves as a color, okay, Black, African American. Of course, we have said that, thousands of times on these platforms, and it's been reiterated on so many different platforms that Black is you have no standing in law. You know what I mean? So, and here's the thing, that is true, and we've been pointing that out. I mean, literally, this is the basis and the foundation of our platform here. But here's what we have to realize is that when we step up out of the blackness and step into the light, guess what? There's another fight waiting. You see what I'm saying? Because at the ending of the day, these people, they don't want to see us under any circumstances, whether you call yourself Black, African American, Indigenous, Aboriginal, American Indian, Choctaw, Cherokee, Blackfoot. They don't care what you call yourself. Okay? All they focus is on this. We came from a place where we were slaves, we were vagabonds, we were nothing. Okay? We set up a new world in a land that we don't care how we got it. We don't care how our ancestors got it. Okay? We came, we raped their parents, we beat them up, we stole everything from them. The point is, we here now, and we're not gonna do anything to give them a chance to resurrect themselves. A lot of them have that mentality. You feel me? A lot of them have that mentality. But that's not going to stop us. Okay? It's not going to stop us. All right?
It's not going to stop us,
No.
and it is stop. They're dying now faster than they're being born.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are laws that you just can't get around, and that's it's just really, for me, it's very empowering,
Mm.
and I see it reflected in my life.
Mm.
And even though you don't hear about all the weird diseases and all the things that may have been designed to mess with us
Mm.
biologically that are coming back on them, and they're getting all these weird illnesses and whatnot, generally speaking,
Mm.
that you don't hear about. I mean, it is a fact that Caucasian people are now dying faster than they're being born.
But here,
And
but here's the thing, though. It's not just a Caucasian thing, because you see, it's right now. It's not even about color. It's about
this is true.
your energy and
This
your
is
intent.
true.
Because there are a lot of our people who are dying out the same way, because not every Caucasian is that way. And I could
It's a
attest to
human.
that.
It's a human thing. It's a
Exactly.
human
That's what
thing.
I'm saying. So it's an energy thing. It's a thing about intent. So I still don't want
Right.
to get caught up in thinking it's a color thing, because let me tell you something.
I agree.
I
I
know
agree with that.
Caucasians. Let me tell you, when my foot was broken, right? It was my Caucasian friends. They were the one who held me up more than the people who look like me. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna blame this on Caucasians, okay? No, it's everybody with bad intent.
Well, I was speaking generally because the
And
play is playing out quite effectively through black and white.
yeah, well, that's what
And
it's being.
so that was
Yeah, but
that
behind the scenes,
right. That was my
trust
point
me,
on that.
yeah, it's not even that. Honestly, it's not. That's just what it's
Oh,
being
I
portrayed.
believe me, I
Yeah,
know this. I
you know what I'm
right,
saying?
exactly.
Yep.
It's a human thing.
Mm. You know,
It really is because
yeah.
like I said before, we do each other in well enough.
Mm. Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you ask the question, if everything was given back
Mm.
tomorrow,
Yeah.
I wonder, I mean, the state we are in right now with one
Mm.
another,
Mm.
would we be able to come together enough
Right.
for it not to happen again? You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
Or would we be fighting over, would we do the same
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah. And my sister, that is such a great point that you bring up. Let me just give shout out to my brother Creek. This is a great point you brought up, because everybody's fighting for these reparations. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? If you get the reparations, you were not trained to practice group economics. You were not trained to practice investment. So what are you going to do with the money? You're going to give it right back to them anyway.
Yeah.
You're going to give it back to the system. So it's like, I mean, damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's like, a lot of our people need to realize that the change, like we always keep talking about, is from within. Okay, so when the
Right.
opportunity, because this is what success is about. Success is about working on the change so that when the opportunity comes, you are ready for the opportunity. But a lot of our people are not ready for the opportunity. They speak it, okay, but they are not ready for it. They are not. So I'm glad you brought that up, because, like you said, if they were to give back everything today, what's going to happen? Is it going to change the fact that we out here cursing each other out, beating each other out, that we have BET promoting, calling our young women bitches and hoes, and every other rap song is I want to kill this and I want to kill that? Is
Right.
that going to change our situation? No, it's not. So we have to start looking at look at ourselves and start making those changes within. All right. I look at all of these so-called celebrities that people look up to, and they're constantly pushing images and music that's a detriment to our people, but yet still our people gravitate to that negativity. So at the end of the day, who should take any type of liability for that? We have to take some type of responsibility for the state that we're in at this present moment.
Right.
And I digress. Go ahead, sis.
No, we are responsible.
Mm.
We are. I mean, on the color thing, white people are basically washed out black people. It's irrelevant. It's a made up thing. And we know this.
Mm.
If we got it together, just us dealing with one another, once we do that, everybody's straight.
Yes.
And I think everybody knows that on some level.
Mm-hmm.
You know, on some level, it's kind of clear. Once we get to that place, everything levels out.
Yeah.
And I think we need to more so start feeling like owners. When we start feeling like owners, we'll stop expecting so-called reparations, because I feel like as owners,
right,
we deserve it all anyway. I don't deserve your little crumb
right
off of a cookie.
Reparation.
You know, I deserve everything that I'm due, and that's what I'm gonna take. Like, I'm not gonna ask you for shit. You know, excuse my French. You know, I'ma just step up and take what's mine, basically. So that's how I feel our attitudes need to really step up and become more so. You know, just like, you know, we own shit rather than we're just gonna accept what the hell you give us.
You're absolutely right, because we went from a status of being landlords, okay, to tenants. You know, and until we get away from the mentality of that tenancy mentality, all right, and just to, build on what you just said, Sister Love, that's I agree with you. Okay, we have to start looking at ourselves as owners. Okay, this is our home. This is the home that the Most High gave us. All right, and it was taken from us. So for one, there's a karma that has to be paid But our people are constantly forgiving the people who intentionally make attempts to hurt you every time you turn. Now, don't get me wrong, and that's one of the things that I always have to go at a lot of these preachers and these ministers, because you are teaching our people wrongly. Okay, there is nothing wrong in forgiving when people harm you and it wasn't intentional. Okay, because sometimes we hurt people and we don't know we hurt them. Okay, because people interpret things differently. But when someone sits around, okay, and premeditate how I'm going to destroy you, how I'm going to hurt you, how I'm going to put your children in jail, how I'm going to prevent you from getting a job, how I'm going to prevent you from getting an education, how I'm going to prevent you from, reprimanding your children when they are doing things they are not supposed to do. All right? That should not be forgiven, because the universe don't forgive those things. But every time we step up and we forgive, what happens? We forgive them from their karma. That karmatic debt that they're supposed to face naturally from the universe, we forgive them. So guess what? They get to do it over and over and over again and not expect this spiritual death. And that's what it is. We got to stop forgiving people who hurt us intentionally. All right? And everything that's being done, it's about intent. Okay, they sit around now. Look at the system, right? The legal system. If you do something and you harm someone, and it was an accident, okay, it was spontaneous, you go to court, they'll let you go for the most part, right? But however, when you sit around and you premeditate and you go and harm somebody, they put you behind bars forever. So why is that these people are not behind bars? Because that was premeditated. It's because we are supposed to be the judges and we are not being the judges. We are supposed to be the jury and we are not being the jury. So therefore, we have them trying their own cases and they're forgiving themselves and we are accepting the forgiveness. Okay. Our sister, Mama Lioness just tuned in. My sister, I hope you were able to rectify the feedback. Go ahead, the floor is yours.
Wow. I don't know what's going on. I've been trying to figure this out, but I heard a feedback as soon as you had spoken. Right now, everything sounds good.
Yes.
How's it on your end?
It sounds great.
It's
well,
fine.
I can hear you just fine. Maybe when I speak, the feedback coming from you because maybe your receiving volume on your end is high, or maybe you have two devices playing. I don't know.
No, I have just the one. I don't even have it on my phone. I had to figure out my new passcode to get into Google. Okay,
It sounds much better though.
Thank you, sis. Katrina.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Blessed love.
Yes.
Okay, so I wanted to share one of the poetic justice poetries that the ancestors awakened in me recently. Okay. So because this is a new gift, I have to read it because I never even knew that I had the ability to actually write poetry. Is that somebody speaking?
No, my sister, that's you. That's probably your feedback. The floor is yours.
Oh, okay. Okay, it's called Overstand. In every neighborhood, there is an opportunity to create a Lions Pride community. Women of counsel and men of protection to unite together, the melanated family perfection. Allowing our children left foot forward, unite in all colonized indigenous international borders, unto the right direction of leader contenders and not followers of the disagreeable strangers. Among us are the infinity warmonger devourers. We be the head and not the tail, given a reason for a legitimate school bell. The lenders and not the borrowers, perpetuating sorrow. Among every melanated nation, there is room to be healed from unaddressed issues of our enemies' conquering thrills and falsified history to create a ghetto mentality while empowering their wicked schemes and principalities until we as a people of the diaspora consider that a people who has enslaved us, burned us, heinously castrate us, rape us, and exploit us, GMO poison us, and demise our status among us, and wickedly define us, continue to socially brutalize us, and do all kinds of evil to us. People who, as this day, trying to eliminate the divine, beautiful Messiah within our nation, within our own minds, hearts, and for reparation and restoration and rejuvenation. As among the FBI contrapros, strategic in-game plays in this present time of eternity, creating an unlawful insecurity with their police brutality. We must realize the people who don't treat us right, not teach us right, in their church esoterics or their state institutions of confusions and barbaric intrusions. In every melanated soul and spirit, there is power to be victorious without the validations of our enemies, evil legendary emancipation, with notorious fork-tongued miseries, with theirs and our self-appointed religious and preachers, political leaders, promising peace to those who pay them, and threaten war unto them that don't. Peace will be obtained when we recognize in our veins is the DNA blood of the divine legacy and fame. Whitewashed artificial intelligent teachers infiltrated our ancient and golden age of consciousness of moral thoughts and actions, the seven laws of the universe attraction, that we can't be internally entertained. Every melanated woman and man's heart has the ability to proclaim and restart the status of our ancestor intelligent fame. And every black man is a protector and provider. And every black woman is a counselor and a comforter. The B is for beautiful. The L is for legacy. The A is for ancient. The second A is for ancestral. And the C is for consciousness. For the divine has awakened in us the beautiful acronym for Black actually stands for the awakening of the beautiful legacy of ancient ancestral consciousness. So when the two of us become one, the battle is already won, starting with the counsel of the woman's wisdom, of her divine mind, to the end of time. Her hands and her heart hold the solution for a homeland revolution. In every neighborhood, there's an opportunity of alliance among the exploited communities' compliance and joint reliance of outcast nations. Women of counsel, men of protection, rise up for our right together as a melanated family perfection, allowing our children left foot forward in every right direction as a leadership contender, eliminating the pretenders and no longer followers of the LGBT and now P and Z devourers. Be the head and not the tail, giving reason for a legitimate school bell. The lenders and not the borrowers. Perpetuating sorrow. In every melanated nation, there is lessons to be healed, lesions to be healed, unaddressed issues of our enemies, conquering thrills. So continue to kill and oppressors of falsified history, to create a ghetto mentality while empowering our enemies' principalities in need of a historical apology. So the Bible says the enmity is between the serpent and the woman. Therefore, our men protect us so we can bring the foolishness illusion and delusion to a conclusion. The mother of all nations near and far. Now rise up and bruise our enemy's head. Put an end to unto the serpent seed of wormless agents masquerading as a natural law imminent gender. the great deceiver and pretender, a surrogate, mindless and foolishness, wickedness, and a defilement perpetuating a hindered agenda, a self-proclaimed entitlement contender, separate and separate, a misguiding and misagreeing a woman, with her falsified bosoms and artificial wealth of stagnant, putrefied milk, a vain and foolish thing, and their imagination causing gender confrontations, cutting off, sewing up, tucking in natural organ of your birth organs. Determine your unique, genuine assortment of importance. Pills for estrogen, want to be feminine, wigs and extension for carbon copy acceptance, high heels for perverted thrills, and twerking for the advertisement and invitations of the dairy luxury. Altered voice to be smooth like honey, whispering words of perverted travesty, but a real mind of a king and a chief. And tell you're a phony version of all this masquerading as an imitation of a woman still leaves you in confusion and exclusion womanhood of a divine inclusion. So therefore, serpent seed cast out of the garden. On your belly you should bleed. Your heart become and became hardened from jealousy of a divine feminine reproductivity. You caught a hold of the woman's heel and pursued to deal with our divine destiny seal. But my fierce protection to my lion's pride empowers me to devour my enemy's serpent tribe, flipping the script now to inflict the fatal wound upon their head and bleed out their lives until they're dead. So we now we rise with strength. We rise to meet and groom the minds of the elect. We rise to hunt and devour our enemies' lives. We rise to gather the young and the feeble knees to safety. We rise to walk among the lions. We rise to confront our enemies. And when they hear us, they will flee right back to their caves of iniquity. So they will bleed.
Yes, my sister, my sister, my sister. Thank you, man. That was
Wow.
That
powerful.
was wonderful.
That was powerful. You know what? I'm not gonna even take anything away from that because it was so beautiful. You know what I mean? So Golden Crown Sparrow, I get you. I got you. All right, but it was so beautiful. I'm gonna just live it the way it is. Just beautiful. Thank you for that. And I wish we had copies of that so we could say that every day. You know what I mean? And with your permission, of course, just maybe change one word in there. But apart from that, man, it was beautiful. I love it.
Which one are you talking about? What
Yeah.
word? Does this come
Uh,
from the ancestors? I didn't write it. They
oh,
wrote it through me.
I know you did. I know you didn't. And so that's why I said I'm not going to take anything away from it. So we're just going to leave it as beautiful as it is.
Oh, okay.
You and I will talk behind the scenes.
Okay, no problem.
But thank
Thank
you
you
for
for
sharing.
the platform for allowing me to share. As a matter of fact, it's given me a lot of powerful message to bring forth
Yeah.
for those who have ears to hear and truly understand, and
Yeah.
for those who have eyes to see and truly see and perceive. But most importantly, their heart has to be humble enough, but yet kind of like still being sharp as a lion, but yet still gentle as a cub.
Yeah.
But we have to be open and recipient with a humble heart as a child because we have an everlasting, eternal, divine, great mother spirit that is awakening her daughters and her sons for a divine connection, for redemption and reparation and restoration and a divine destiny and a purified legacy.
Man, I couldn't have said it better myself. And it's like your voice just brings such an elevation to the way you articulate what you're saying. So I mean, you're perfect. You were just the perfect one to say this today. So I want to thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, anytime, anytime. Go ahead, Sister Kachina or Sister Love. Anything you want to add to our sister's gift to us today?
I want to thank Mama Lioness for that. That was incredible. That
Mm.
was
It really was.
incredible. Thank you so much.
It took me places, sister. It
Yes.
took me
Yes.
places. By the end there, it's like I had to come back,
Mm.
and very powerful. I mean, I was like moving through the jungles, through the prairies,
Mm.
through just waves of remembrance and the
Mm.
feeling and just that connection that we have. Exactly what we've been talking about
Mm-hmm.
in terms of that love and respect for one another and the gifts that we are to
Mhm.
each other. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
And Mama Lioness, I want to hear more. I
Okay.
want to hear
Yeah, I
more
mean,
of that from
if you
you.
got
That
another one
was
for us,
great.
we'll take it. But we definitely, you know
Hmm.
what? If it's okay with you, every time we do our matriarch build, you know, I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to give you extra work, but if you could give us one, man, I'm ready.
Oh, I got plenty.
Okay, that's what I'm talking
Hmm.
about. She said she got plenty. Let's bring it
I
on.
have plenty
Yes.
because they awakened that gift in me out of the blue.
Mm.
In 2017,
Mm.
I actually came home and I had a fever,
Mm.
and all I wanted to do was get in the bed and sweat it out. So I literally dropped everything that was in my hands, and I was walking to my bedroom, and then it was like all of a sudden, I blinked my eyes, and I was sitting here at my dining room table, and I was like, well, I looked at the floor and I seen everything that I dropped in the floor, and I know I was on my way to the bedroom. So I was like, why am I sitting here at the dining room table and I had a pen and a paper in my hand? And I couldn't even remember coming to the table, picking up no pen, picking up no paper. And so that I said it 3 times. And on the third time, that's when the divine great mother spirit spoke through my mouth. And she
Mm.
actually, this is what she said. She said, but she said it very loud and powerful. So I'm not going to pretend to be her. And she would have to actually speak that way through me. And I know that she was doing that when I was reading what she gave me. But she said, hey, black woman.
Mm.
And I was like, uh-oh, I already know who's speaking to me, but I was like, why are you calling me a black woman? You
Mm.
never called me a black woman. You don't even allow me to call myself a black woman.
Mm.
But that's when she told me, she said, I don't mean black, like as in color. I mean
Right.
black as an acronym.
Right.
So
The
she
F.
told me, write the B. I wrote the B. And then
Mm.
she told me to write the L, and I wrote the L. Then she told me to write the A, I wrote the A. And then she told me to write a next A, so I wrote a next A. And then she told me to write a C. So when I looked at it, it actually would be pronounced black.
Mm.
And she said it's an acronym. So she took me back to the B. She took me back to the B. And that's when she said, the B is for beautiful, and the L is for legacy,
Mm.
and the A is for ancient, and the second A is for ancestors. And then she told me it's for consciousness. So
Mm.
she told me, I'm awakening in you the beautiful legacy, an ancient ancestral consciousness. Now,
Mm.
right.
Mm.
And I've been writing ever since. But I had an issue with my hands, and it was very painful because it took me 6 hours to write maybe like a 6 minute poem because my hands they were full of arthritis and carpal tunnel. But the divine mother was letting me know her daughters that she's raising up. It's
Mm.
time for us to give birth to what she has been implanting in us for our time of purging, or how she's been critiquing us for the past few years.
Mm.
Some of us longer, some of us shorter, but whatever thing that she's been pouring into you, and you know, and when you focus on something, and you know that this is like something that you wouldn't have been able to do on your own. This is what she's been preparing you for just as a time as this to bring forth the divine message that she is giving us in order to speak, in order to lay that platform that she's going to build upon. Because we have to come to the conclusion and remember whatever is what was required in the beginning is going to be required in the end.
Mhm.
So we were started off with the divine matriarchal system, not like in the dominance, but like you said, Chiefkalingo. That's the reason why I was attracted to you, and you did open up your mouth and acknowledge that the woman is that divine seed. Well, you don't like the word divine, but
Yeah,
the
that's fine.
divine, the divine mother, she gave me a different understanding. I
Mm,
mean, there's a DE and then there's a DI,
mm,
but the divine, she allowed me to understand it from the ancient of day concept on how she uses that. Because we were sent here with minds of a divine spirit, a goddess spirit,
mm,
a God spirit, or
mm,
what you say, like a noble spirit.
mm,
I mean, we had like a power of an intelligence that was unconquerable until we became having the desire of wanting something that somebody else had instead of being content and appreciative of what was freely given to us. So, nevertheless, what
mhm,
is required from the beginning of acknowledging the wisdom and the strategic ability of the woman, and then like how the Cherokee proverb says that the greatest task for a woman is to lead her man to his source, and then his is to protect her so she can walk upon the earth and do what she's been called, chosen, and sent here to do. So the
yeah,
wisdom in all our proverbs in reference to acknowledging one another in our divine purpose, because this is a patriarchal sin that we've been living up under because of the colonizers. And
mm,
that's the one thing that they fear. They don't fear sheep leading lions. What they fear is lions leading sheep. And
mm,
the lion knows that the woman, as a lioness, she has the strategic plans and she has the ability to hunt and she has the ability to provide. So,
mm,
in all actuality, to love one another is to be able to say and freely believe and freely stand on. Don't tell nobody that you love them if you're not willing to protect them. Don't tell nobody you love them if you're not willing to provide for them. Don't tell them you love them if you're not willing to give them some counsel to help them change their ways or give them a new way of seeing things. Don't tell them you love them if you're not willing to comfort them and whatever their needs is. So the divine revealed to me the only love that she's concerned about today among her children is to have the ability to protect one another, provide one another, counsel one another, and comfort one another, but in a word of sincerity, spirit, and in truth.
My sister, I mean, I have to say this again because that one was just woo. That was powerful. You said they don't mind the sheep leading the lion, but they are afraid that the lion is going to lead the sheep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, that right there, that was a Tyson punch to the face. You know that was powerful, and I just want to thank you, for your words of wisdom and the acknowledgement. Because for me, when I speak and I tell our people that I am fighting, okay, whether we call fighting or pushing or whatever it is, I stand with our sisters. I don't care how small, how how old they may be, all right, or how wise they may be, or how ignorant they may be. I'm gonna stand with our sisters and our women because I know that's the key. Okay, that's the key. And I tell people like this, and I'm gonna reiterate again. I am not pushing our sisters to take their rightful place because I want anybody to control me. No. What's missing, what's missing is the fact is the guidance of our women. Okay, our God, I don't mind sitting down and listening to my elders or listening to our women. All right, because the truth of the matter is they have never guided us wrong, but because a lot of them were misguided, they are able to bring us back into the fold because we are all their children. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna continue to do that, and nobody's gonna stop me from doing it. At the end of the day, until our women rise, I know we could never get back our rightful place. That's it.
Exactly. Exactly. And I mean, in order for us to rise, it's kind of like how you might see like a painting where they're actually like, it's like a man that's holding up his child.
Mm.
Well, there's like a saying where people say, which one come first, the chicken or the egg? But the divine revealed to me, she said, the chicken already has the egg within her. So it's like the same thing with a woman. When a female child is born, every child that she would be able to have is already within her.
Mm.
So when a man lifts up a woman, he's lifting up a nation. In spite of how they say, if you give a book to a man, he teaches himself. But when you give a book to a woman, she raises a nation.
Mm.
So in order for us to be able to be raised and unite in unity together, the
Mm.
man must now lift up his woman
Yeah.
and acknowledge her. But she's got to have a transferring and a renewing of a mind,
Yeah.
because even for a woman, just because she has a womb, is not going to guarantee her ability to soar like the eagle or the hawk, because in all actuality, you have to change right up here,
Mm.
because some people are content. Now, I am a witness. I wasn't sitting up in nobody's church. I wasn't listening to the no religious crap on TV or anything. I was actually at home, minding my own business. I was actually getting ready to go out and party, and I wasn't thinking about no God. I wasn't looking for no God, and I definitely wasn't living for no God. I have my A to my Z, but I mean, just kind of put it in a little nipple here. I used to drink, I used to smoke, I used to snort, I used
Mm.
to shoot, I used to lie, I used to steal, I used to carry gun, I used to carry knife, I used to be a stripper, I used to be a lesbian. I used to
Mm.
be old. I used to be abusive to old and young,
Mm.
two-footed and four-footed, group home, treatment center, jail, anything and everything you can imagine. That's
Mm.
who I have become after one incident at 7 years old. But it took the divine spirit of truth. Jail could not transform my way of my thinking and doing.
Mm.
The different centers couldn't change my thinking or my way of doing. The streets and the drugs and between somebody's legs and all of that couldn't change. But the divine spirit showed up just like that. And she removed all of that just like that. She didn't
Mm.
allow me to use a religion to say, oh, somebody's covered me in the blood. So my sins are covered. No, we're all going to be responsible as an individual. So that means we all have to be open to receive correction, because in order for this next level that we're going to, because she's laying down a platform, is
Mm.
to create a nation. It's going to judge these other nations, and she's not going to give it unto another people. But
Mm.
we got to change our way of thinking and change our way of doing, because you
Mm.
will not be qualified to be to set apart for integrity and righteousness if you're living unrighteous.
Mm.
So the divine spirit has her purpose. We're still children in the sight of the divine. But we must now humble ourselves to have a transferring and renewing of our mind for a divine destiny and a purified legacy.
Wow. Wow. My sister, man, listen, this just touch home. You know what I'm saying to me? Because you see, the journey is real. The journey is real. And a lot of people don't realize that, in life, it's about your walk. And yes, where you have been is part of what makes you. You see what I'm saying? Now, my story, I can't compare it to yours or anybody else. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it has been a journey as well. Fortunately for me, I have never done drugs. Don't smoke. I don't drink. I have never been to prison. But I have a son. When my son was a little boy, and I had custody of my son, and I was a great dad and taking care of my child. One of my professions, which a lot of people don't know, which I already spoke about. But that and the ancestors call me for something higher. I used to be one of the best in New York as one of the Magic Mike. Some people may say stripper, some people may say male dancer, whatever you call it. But you see, a lot of times, a lot of people want to judge us because of where we've been, who we are. You know what I'm saying? But I was the best at it. And I was proud to do what I was doing at that time. And I gave it up not because I was doing something wrong. I didn't give it up because I was doing something wrong. I gave it up because the ancestors and the Great Spirit called me for something higher. And I'm going to tell you, when I gave up the stage, because I was always catering to our women, so I know what it means to make our women happy and to take them to a place. But I realized that it's not that I was taking them to a bad place, but I needed to take them to a higher consciousness. And the ancestors pulled me away from that. And when they pulled me away from that, my sister, I'm gonna tell the platform, things just went downhill. I couldn't pay my rent. I couldn't do anything. You see what I'm saying? And then people was calling me for shows, calling me for shows. And guess what? I made a promise to my ancestors. I'm gonna step up to the plate to work the journey and the purpose that you truly have me for. And even if I couldn't pay my rent for almost 4 months, the landlady understood that. And guess what? I didn't go back to that life. And then all of a sudden things start to change. You know why? Because I trusted. I trusted. I looked into nature and realized that they take care of everything in nature. You know what I'm saying? So to this day, like I said, I did it for 12 years. Once again, I was the best in New York. All right. But some people, they're gonna hold that against you. But I just want you to know that I will not hold that against you. And I'm happy that you shared that with us, because you know what? I respect you as my elder. I respect you as my sister. And you are very, very, very powerful. And I'm honored to be in your presence, just to let you know that. So thank you for that.
Well, I appreciate it, and I actually thank you for sharing. But you know what? That's the one thing that we don't have any concerns about what people may think about me, because it
Right.
actually shows the power of the divine spirit. Like when you actually go down to the bottom, and the
Mm,
divine spirit can show you that you're still um significant, and you're
mm,
going to be used in a mighty way in spite of, because the divine, she revealed to me that I came into this world innocent. I came in here with a clean slate, but the environment that I lived in is what caused the attributes that I have gained in my process. But the
mm,
divine had already revealed to me that she had a divine purpose for me. So when she called me, I had to experience the things that I experienced in order to reach the people who are still have these strongholds and these stumbling blocks. I had
mm,
to live all the unclean and unfilthy things in
mm,
order for people to be have me as somebody that they can relate to. But
mm,
the divine revealed to me that she'll take the weak things of the world to confound the wise,
mm,
or those who profess to be wise. I mean, and in all actuality, she'll take the weak things of the world to confound the mighty. And that
mm,
these things are what the world base as self-appointed positions to be true leaders. But a leader can be just as humble, and whatever somebody might consider filthy. You know, when you find a diamond, a ruby, or anything of a beautiful stone in its natural environment, it's
mm,
covered in dirt. Okay, dirt is not filthy. Dirt is a material, a substance that covers, but it has to go up under refined and fire in order to show the true value of a person, or a jewel. So
mm.
the divine showed me I'm a precious jewel, and
Right.
I have to live in my filth in order for me not to be seen until the right time for her to come forth and pick me up and show me and pick me up under the refining fire to remove all the smut and the dirt, which happens to be some of those characteristics that I have gained. And so now she can set me up on a panel and allow my light to shine. So I can care less about what anybody think about me. There's no different than a lioness who's full of scars on her body, but yet she's able to say, well, I obviously was stronger than what was trying to take me out, because I'm
Mm,
still surviving.
mm, mm, mm. Well, my sister, you know what? Like I said, man, I just want to thank you, for your testimony. And I know we have two other sisters on the build.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I just wanted some input from, Sister Kachina, or, Sister One Love, if they are still with us.
I hope they are.
Oh yeah, I'm still
Oh yeah,
here.
Yeah,
we're
so
Oh,
still
yeah,
here.
any one of you guys, just give your input. Hey, we building. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is all about. Us talking about our transgressions. You know what I'm saying? And our journey and where we are at and what we need to do to let go of the past and be in the present, so that we're
Exactly.
able to manifest our future. So any one of your sisters could go ahead and talk to us.
Yeah, I've just brought my sister and my niece in on the build as well. They're right next to me.
All
So
right. Greetings.
Hello.
hi. Hello.
Greetings. Halito. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with what you're saying. And this is exactly what you were talking about. We've been talking about in terms of safe spaces, because everybody has stuff. Most people actually have stuff that they're hiding, or they're, walking around feeling like crap about themselves, about, and then purging all that negativity out into the world because they can't face it in themselves.
Mhm.
And they can't, they usually aren't in spaces where they can just share that. Like if they told the people around them
Mm.
the truth of themselves, they would be judged.
Right.
Even though those same people, probably would have their own stuff. And that's what we were talking about earlier.
Right.
Like if we can all just suspend that kind of thinking, it's a program.
Mhm.
It's like so automatic. People don't even realize it's what they're doing.
Mhm.
And so, it really can push you. You don't even, like, you can't help it. You try to stop it, and it's like a struggle.
Mhm.
So, yeah, just this kind of environment. And it really is all about frequency, because it's not anything you can tell a person. We can sit and talk all day to someone who, if they're not ready to hear it, they're not going to hear it. But if you're vibing at a certain frequency, they will feel it. And even if it goes away later, they won't forget that. They won't forget what you made them feel, and it activates. In we're made that way.
Right.
What do they call the 100th monkey syndrome?
Yeah.
It's very powerful.
Mm.
And so if I'm totally responsible for what I'm putting out there, for what I'm bringing, for what I'm vibing, not what I'm showing the world, not the face I'm showing, but who I'm truly being when nobody's looking, that has great effect. That affects the ley lines. That affects the planet herself. That's that divine feminine energy sis is talking about. That's what's coming on board now
Right.
through us.
Mhm.
And the more we pick up that walk,
Mhm.
that's the power.
Yeah.
That's it. It has nothing to do with making a bunch of money. I mean, I know we need money. We need resources.
Right.
But I truly feel those resources come from this inner work. It's like
Yes.
we can't grab it from outside. We have to go within to get into the flow of it, because it's really already here for us.
Mhm.
Everything we need is here for us.
Mhm.
But we have to create our own inner environment. We have to create the environment for the garden to grow,
Yes.
basically.
Yeah.
If we have a whole bunch of weeds still choking us out, then we're not going to be able to breathe in, the abundance. And we can see how that happens, right?
Yeah.
There's so much suffering.
Mhm.
I mean, that's real. People are going through it.
Right.
And it's constantly pushing our face this story of the suffering Black people. It's constantly put in our face. So, you have to really not just try to fake it till you make it. You have to really get into that knowing place, that unwavering connection to the Most High, to one another, that doesn't budge. It's the thing that brought us here through all of this. It's that one unwavering thing that when we can, keep in touch with that, it really connects us with one another more. And we're more immovable. We're not so easily swayed by the distraction. So yes, like with sister, the poetry, allowing that creative flow to just come through her, and then for you to provide this platform for her to be able to share it, and for us to suspend whatever and just be here for her, and all receive this gift that none of us, I know I wasn't expecting,
Right.
but I absolutely know I received a gift.
Right.
And it makes me know what what more is out there. What more, these are the answers we're looking for. I don't think, like, we talk about politics and and moving in certain ways. But honestly, I'm not really feeling it. It's like, for me, there was an unnatural seed planted some time ago.
Hold on for a second, sis. Could you do me a favor while Sister Kachina is talking? If you could just mute your volumes, because I'm getting this major feedback and it's
Sorry.
interrupting. Please.
Oh,
Oh, me?
Yeah, you and Sister One Love. I'm not sure who's giving.
Okay.
Yeah. Just mute you just mute yourself for a little for a while until we're able to come back to you, please.
Oh, now I can't hear anything.
Or you can't hear anything? All right, go ahead, Sister Kachina.
I'm sorry. What was I saying?
Now you were talking about poetry and the sister's testimony and
Oh yeah, it's just to really allow these things to come
I
through. I think.
couldn't I couldn't find a way to get back to.
yes, Sister Lovely, all right, if you could just mute yourself for a minute, because Sister Kachina is talking and we're hearing the feedback in the back. Yeah, go ahead, sis.
No, just basically, we have the answers we're looking for,
Yes, indeed.
but
All
we
right.
have to be still enough
Yeah.
to connect again and honor what we've been through, because the trauma was for a reason. It wasn't just because there was a murderous seed moving through. The trauma was, so we don't want to revisit, we don't want to go back to what caused the trauma. Really keeps people, but that seed is what we have tried to build on. Like, for me, the politics or whatever, that's what I was talking about, the politics and all these systems that have been built off of this unnatural seed. I don't know that can be righted. I don't know that we can now grow fruit from this same seed that's not going to be, twisted in some way.
Right.
And I don't know how we recreate the tree. I'm not sure how we do that, but I kind of feel like that's what we need to do on some level. At least look into that way, instead of trying to incorporate the systems that were designed to keep us down.
Right.
To make it to work for us. I don't see that.
Yeah, I totally agree.
But all of these systems came from us in some way.
Yeah.
So it's just basically us getting in touch with ourselves, and aligning with that memory.
Yeah. I agree.
What we're capable of doing, and trusting it. That's the main part, because it's just so many pulls to have us function in different ways. Our families, societies, communities, telling us, well, you have to do it like this or do it like that. I think we have to be more innovative and, share and be supportive in what people are sharing.
Yes.
If it's workable.
Yes. Absolutely, I agree, and I think we Sister Love got disconnected from the call. Hopefully she'll join us again. But go ahead, my Mama Lioness. Thank you. The floor is yours. If you want to add anything, we're gonna get ready to conclude in a few. And the build was great. Like I said earlier, man. I'm sending out lots of love and positive energy to our sister Sophia. And just we wish all the best in her endeavors, and thank you for coming on the platform and sharing some of your experience. And we'll continue to keep our eyes open, and then just hoping and wishing for the best. And go ahead, Mama Lioness.
Her mute is on.
Yeah, your mute is on. Unmute yourself. Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I could hear you now. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not going to take up any more time, but I just want to simply say it was a great opportunity. And my steps were ordained, and it was a divine order for me to be here to meet brothers and sisters, Chief Alingo, again, Sister Katrina, Love. She left the platform. And Sophia, the experience was a learning experience, and it gave me an opportunity to reflect. So the Divine Spirit ordained my ears, eyes, and heart in a respectful way to be used to contribute I don't have all the answers. None of us do, but we all have something to bring forth that we may build together and become one. So thank you for the opportunity. Looking forward to speaking to you again in the next opportunity. Was Crumb on here?
Yes, brother Crumb, he came through for a minute. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't get a chance to see him or hear him, but I do know that sometimes he has a platform as well that you all are supposed to alternate or something.
Yes.
So I was looking forward to learning more about that.
Yeah.
Um, but nevertheless, thank you again, Chief Kalingo. I'm probably not saying your name correctly,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it's Chief Kalanago, but just Chief is
oh,
yeah. It's
Chief
fine, but it's okay.
Nago.
Yeah.
Okay. I used you're from the island.
Yeah, I was born in Dominica. Yes. That's where
Oh,
they have the Carib Reserve, the Kalanago Reserve. That's my home. Yeah. In terms
oh,
of being
okay.
born. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
actually moved. I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia. I
Okay.
moved here from St. Croix, Virgin
Okay.
Islands.
Mm.
Um, but my accent isn't from the Virgin Islands.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, my accent is kind of like the what do you call it? It's the result of having a stroke
Mm.
about 30 years ago. But
Okay.
I didn't have the paralysis. It didn't last no more than about 15 minutes, but for 2 years I couldn't talk at all.
Mm.
And then when it was time to try to talk again,
Hmm.
this is what I sound like.
Okay.
So
Well, you know what? It's a beautiful thing because it has this beautiful vibration and this tone to your voice and your energy. So everything happens for a reason. You know what I mean?
And
So I'm thankful that you're here. To be able to stand and talk and listen and see and feel. You know what I mean? So it's
yeah,
an honor
yeah,
because, like I said, the vibration, especially when you was reading that poem, it's like you were literally touching inside something inside of me was just wow. So
yeah.
I thank you for that. So in closing, I want to thank you again. And of course, this is just the beginning. I mean, we're gonna be doing that every Sunday. And I had spoken to Brother Crumb, and instead of doing 2 Sundays with me and 2 Sundays with him, we're gonna do all Sundays with me, and we're gonna create all Saturdays on his platform for the Matrix as well. So instead of having 4 bills monthly, we're gonna have 8 bills monthly with the Matriarch. So we're gonna make it happen. I'll also introduce that on his platform.
Okay, all right. Looking forward to it.
Yes, my sister. So have a beautiful continuation and thank you and have a blissful evening.
blissful evening to everyone. It was wonderful seeing everybody.
Yes. So go ahead, my sister Kachina, if you could just go ahead and give us something in I wouldn't say closing, but in continuation until the next time. Please go ahead and leave us with some words.
Well, I have to say I'm truly thankful to have been here just to um, be a part of this. I was really looking forward to the call with Miss
Mm,
Stewart.
mm,
But what this brought was just another level of, we have to be able to bob and weave. These days, especially, you can't just get rigid because you'll break with these winds, these
mhm.
winds that get turbulent. And it's just been this beautiful example of what we can create on a dime.
Yes.
I've spoken to you before about the foundation that you've built, and it's just really important to just keep trusting this foundation is very strong
Mm,
and the steps that you're guided to take next,
yes.
to trust those, no matter what anybody else has to say about it. And that goes for all of us.
Mm,
We're all being called to our leadership that our ancestors are screaming
mhm.
through us, is just no doubt. And we're supported. That's the thing.
Yes.
We're supported on every level. And the more we lean into that, it's kind of like the Indiana Jones movie. I do a lot of movie references,
You're
but
right.
when he steps out on on faith, he steps out and the bridge appears.
Hmm.
I know everybody here probably can point to stuff like that in their lives. And it's always like at the 11th hour, you just don't
Hmm.
see it coming.
Right.
So we just have to, I think that's the direction to go, because what we're doing hasn't been done before. There
Yeah.
is no template. There's
Right.
nobody else to turn to. You're it.
Thank you.
So yeah, and we got the chops.
Yes.
So there's that, and just lean into it, and we're good. So
Yes, much
Thankful.
appreciated.
I'm
Oh,
thankful.
thank
Yes,
you. I appreciate you, appreciate love, and like I said,
absolutely.
this is, this is just a continuation of what was already, planted in my soul and my spirit years ago. So I'm just obedient, to the my spiritual parents, and just continue to ask them to guide me, use me as a vessel. So when I come across sisters such as yourself and Mama Lioness and One Love and other sisters and brothers, I did this, the energy just seems so familiar, like I've been here before. And that's what was literally, it wasn't missing because it has always been there, but now I'm being aware of it. So I'm thankful and I'm honored that you are in my presence as well. So with that being said, have a great continuation, and I'm gonna pass it on to Sister One Love, to give us something in the conclusion of our bill. So my sister, have a great continuation, and we will talk soon.
Absolutely.
All right, take care.
Peace.
My sister One Love, go ahead, my
Yes.
sister. And now it's down to you and I.
That's right. Once again, Chief, I want to thank you for being an inspiration to all of us, and thank you for inviting me onto this build and another learning experience for all of us.
Mhm,
And I just appreciate love each and every one of us that's on the chat and that comes to the chat
mhm.
every time, and tries to come to the chat every time you have a build. And
Yeah,
it's a great thing. I feel honored to be a part of it. So
yeah.
I just want to thank you for that.
And do me a favor. I know you're an artist and you're working on a few things. So if you can, if you don't mind, tell the platform how they could get in touch with you in terms of seeing your some of your work, and how they could just in your information basically.
Oh yes, definitely. My first name is spelled LUV as in Victor hyphen LEA, and then One Love, ONELUV. So if you type that in Google or into YouTube, all of my videos will come up. And I appreciate y'all for, and I have a few new subscribers thanks to you, Chief, as well. And I want to thank you for that as well.
You're
And
welcome.
thank you all for showing love.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great continuation, and we will talk soon.
Most definitely.
All right.
Peace,
Take
Chief.
care. All right.
Peace and love.
All right. So brothers and sisters, and it's here. Once again, man. I'm just so thankful and honored. You know what I mean? That we have this opportunity to do what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Let me just give me a second, guys. Okay, the opportunity to do what we're doing, and what I'm gonna do is Wednesday or Thursday. I'm not sure what day it is. I'm gonna do a build, and I'm gonna bring some of the brothers on. All right, because it is as equally important to me to start extending, all right, this brotherly love, all right, on a platform, so that we could be an example to show other brothers that it don't matter where we at, whether we in South America, we in North America, Central America, we are able to come together and build and respect each other. You see, this is what this platform is about: setting a precedent, setting an example. It's easy for us to just react to emotions based on outside stimuli. But once you understand the concept of what it means to be a deity, okay, once you get that, then believe me, brothers and sisters, it's an amazing thing. Okay, it's an amazing thing. Okay, there is something special about us that a lot of us haven't discovered just yet, because we are not taking the time to go within. We are not taking the time to get away from the distractions. We always got the TV on. We always got the phone on. We always have people gossiping something in our ear. Okay? If it's not one distraction, it's the next. And you have to realize that those things were put in place strategically, okay, to take us away from our greatness that's within us. Okay, so like I said, we are not missing anything because it's there. How can you miss something that's there? The only problem is you are not aware of your greatness. Okay, so in as much as building and bringing together the energy of the matriarchs, okay, our sisters, it is as equally important to bring our brothers on the same page, because once our sisters are stepping up. They're raising those frequencies, and through their vibrations, we as brothers have to learn to come together in order to protect those sisters. Okay? And so now we're able to bring this balance, this harmony, this synergy that Mother Nature, Mother Earth is screaming out for. And it's our responsibility. It's not going to come from anywhere else but right here in the Americas. You feel me? Because the world is watching. The world is looking at us. They're not looking at anybody else. No, they're looking at the American Aborigine. And they're screaming, when is these people going to wake up? So guess what? We heard the call. And we are stepping up to the plate. Okay? Oh, that moon, no doubt. That moon is right there. You know, oh, that moon is right there. And as you can see, that star, right? The star is right next to it. Okay? That star is right next to it. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, you know, we got a lot of work to do. And Brother Crumb, you know, thank you, you know, for again opening up your doors to the platform, you know, so that we're able to express ourselves. And like I was telling the sisters, that we're gonna do the matriarch build every Sunday on this platform, and we are working towards doing it every Saturday at a designated time on your platform. So I will definitely take the initiative to you know, to set that off, you know, Saturday coming, you know, and we'll work it out, we'll make it happen. But most definitely on Wednesday or Thursday, we're gonna do a build with the brothers. So we'll do this, you will do the same thing for brothers who want to come on, you know, please send an email. All right, it's either gonna be Wednesday or Thursday, I'll let you guys know. But with that being said, we're gonna continue to show the world that we are able to love each other, we are able to care for each other, we are able to share amongst each other. Okay, we have to protect each other's interests because we all have a part to play. Okay, it's like a great puzzle. You feel me? It is a great puzzle. And if one little piece of the puzzle is missing, then we cannot and we will not get that perfect picture painting. All right? But once each and every one of us play our parts, remember, no one role is less significant than the next. We have to keep that in mind. And that's where it brings the power struggle, because everybody's trying to be the man or the woman. I'm not trying to be the man. I just want to be part. I just want to be on the ride. You feel me? I just want to be on the ride. I don't have to be in the driver's seat. I just want to be in the transportation that's taking us to the destination that we need to go to be on, or where we are going. I just want to be on the ride, family. Okay, I just want to be on the ride. I know I cannot be in everybody's car because not everybody's energy is right. It doesn't mean that they're not going in the right direction. It just means that the music that they're listening to in their car, I'm not vibrating to it right now. You feel me? So I want to be in a ride where the frequencies are beautiful. Okay? There is synergy. There is love. You dig? So that's where I want to be. And that's where I have found myself to be. And I'm in such a beautiful space. So I'm sharing that energy. I'm sharing that love, because love is contagious. Okay? Positive feelings is contagious. That's why they teach you how to gravitate to the negativity. You feel me? Because it destroys you from the inside out. Okay? They will give you all the tools to destroy yourself. They will appeal to the physical eye. But I implore you this evening to step within and start having insight opposed to outsight. And once you're able to have insight, okay, then you're able to have visions, because it's three different components. Okay, you have insight, you have outsight, and you have vision. Okay, the outsight is what distracts you. Okay, this is that deals with consciousness. The insight deals with the subconscious. Okay, you're able to see things from within. Now, once you're able to see things from within, that's when you have vision. You see, outside don't bring vision. No, that's not vision. That is just seeing. The vision comes from insight. When you're able to articulate things from the inside, manifest from a higher realm, now you're starting to have vision. And I have had the visions, just like I'm certainly sure a few of you have, or many of you have. Hey, what do I know? Okay? But each one of us have to take the responsibility for building ourselves. Each one have to take the responsibility for cleaning our temple. Okay? because the Most High dwells within each and every one of us. But if your environment is an environment that's not conducive for a deity to live in, then you are just the walking dead. So my job is to raise people from the dead. You see, people don't realize when you have messiahs and people around you that are here to raise the dead. You see, it's an allegory. It wasn't a physical raising people from the dead. No, it was raising the spiritual dead. And that's what this is all about. A lot of us and many of us can and are messiahs. And our stories are going to be told after we are long gone physically. You feel me? Because we are putting in the work. So don't let anybody take anything away from you, family. Don't let nobody take nothing away from you. As long as you're walking in light and you're doing what's right, okay? And you have integrity, you have love. Don't matter what the world say about you, they're going to talk. It doesn't matter. Continue to walk that walk. All right? Stay up, stand up, be true to yourself in order to be true with anybody else. All right. Brother Crumb just posted the video. Well, it's our video, brother. It's not my video, but I know what you mean. All right. This is for us. Okay. Pocahontas Decoded on Crumb TV. So you guys do me a favor, go check it out, share the information. He just posted the video, the Pocahontas Decoded on Crumb TV. So please go check that out. And let us continue to share. And yes, absolutely, they know who we are. How can the sheep not know the voice of the shepherd? We are the shepherds. You feel what I'm saying? We are the shepherds. So they know our voice. They know who we are, and we are speaking, and we are raising the vibration of our great grandmama, which is Mother Earth. So they know what's going on, and they can't stop it. You see, that's the beautiful thing about it. They can't stop it. They're trying, but they can't stop it. So with that being said, in conclusion, I want to thank each and every one of you for being a part of this build today. All right. Once again, like I said, everything happened for a reason. There's a lesson to be learned in all of that. So let us look at the video again and reflect and look at ourselves. All right. In everything that transpired, and learn the lesson that was meant to be learned, because I learned something. And when I go lay my head, whether I eat something or I go lay down immediately, I'm going to reflect on everything and ask the Great Spirit to speak to me. Okay. So we still have a lot of work to do. A lot of things are being done behind the scenes. We are going to continue to do the matriarchal build every Sunday. And Brother Crumb, we're going to do it on his on our platform over there. Okay. On Saturdays, Wednesday or Thursday, I'm going to do a build with the brothers. So we'll make that like a every Wednesday or every Thursday thing where we build with the brothers. You know what I mean? And then on our platform at Crumb TV, we're gonna make an attempt to do it. Like if I do Wednesdays, he'll do Thursdays. If I do Thursdays, he'll do Wednesdays. So literally, the brothers have the platform eight times a month, and the sisters have the platform 8 times a month. All right, and let us show the world that we could love each other, we could build together, and we could continue to share amongst each other. All right. So once again, thank you to everyone who came on the platform as a guest, also as those of you who participated in the chat. I thank you for that as well. Thank you so much. And for all the provocateurs and the agents that came in and the trolls, I'm just going to put you in the hands of the universe. All right. We already know how we do. I'm not going to put out any negative energies out there. So I appreciate love you guys. I love you guys truly. And that's why I do what I do. So thank you again and have a beautiful continuation. Wholesomeness, love, and light.